Yeah. Bla Xit Family. Let me wait for a few people to come in on the stream. Nobody join it, sir. Yeah, Bla Xit Family, Bla Xit Family, Bla Xit Family. Tonight the topic is Can Africa rid itself of colonialism? Greetings to everyone. Greetings. I saw two people join me. Greetings. There's 7 people joined the live. I'm just waiting for Julie to come to the door. So yeah, Bla Xit Family, how we all been? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Is there any comments? Okay. Let me see. Yes, greetings, Dwayne. Greetings, brother. How are you? How are you? Long time. Yeah. So yeah, so tonight live gonna be interesting still. I'm just waiting for Juliet to come to the door. So can I see all who is in the house? I could see 13 people watching. Can you all comment your name so I could give you a big up? We know over the years that colonialism have destroyed, well, not only Africa, but Africans worldwide, you know? Okay, yes, bless up, Dwayne, bless up, man, bless up. Good to have you here, good to have you here. You know, good to have you here. Dwayne is my countryman, you know, my longtime brethren. You know, we more or less grew up together. Yeah. Ashantel, long time no see. Greetings, sister. How are you? Big up yourself. Yeah, I've been around. Yes, first we have to clean out the corruption. Yes, DB1. Yeah, we have to clean out. The corruption. But you know, everything take time. We go by stages. I would say one thing we have to do, try to change our mindset as well. Because our mindset is important, you know. Once we change our mindset and we start to respect ourselves as Africans, where we start to look at ourselves as Africa first. Africa for the Africans, home and abroad. You know, when we start to put our heads together and realize that we are all that we got. When we Africans realize that if we don't work together, we're always gonna be we always gonna be behind. You know, and as Marcus Garvey was leading the way. He said a race that depends upon another race for its any leadership that teach you to depend upon another race for your survival is a leadership that will always enslave you. You know, so my people, yes, tonight going to be an interesting topic. African Queen, big up yourself. I'm just waiting on Juliet to come to the door. Lurlin 65H, big up yourself as well. You know, Juliet haven't joined yet, but she'll be joining very soon. Yes. So yeah, as I was saying, colonization has not only destroyed Africans on the continent, but Africans globally. You know, I mean, we've been displaced by the colonizers. We've been set upon ourselves to hate each other. You know, over 500 years of oppression, 500 years of torture, trauma, and now it's still spilled down to us, the new generation. You know, so we have a lot of work to do to work this out. And as you see, most of us now is finding our way back home. Some of us is actually repatriating back to the motherland. And while we're doing so, some of us is still coming with the trauma from the West, which we have to find a way of dealing with it. But as a people, once we work together, we will achieve great things. You know, because togetherness is what it's going to take. And as I say, African for the African home and abroad, Africa for the Africans home and abroad. And one of the most important things for us is to get our mindset right. Get back to the stage that when I look at my brother, I know that's my brother. When I look at my sister, I know that's my sister. You know, big up yourself, Sheba Nima. How are you? How are you, sister? Yeah, give thanks for the compliment still. Give thanks, yeah. So as I was saying, colonization has affected Black people globally, whether in the Caribbean, whether in America, whether in England, even here in Africa, you know. The remnants of colonization is not easy. And we as a people, we are strong. We are strong, and we have to learn to love each other. You know, we've been through a lot of trauma. We've been told for years that we're useless, we're no good, we're no good at business, we're no good at, you know, but we could prove that wrong. Because when you look at most of the development in the Western world, we was a part of that. When you look at those major infrastructure, some of our ancestors was a part of those development. You know, when you look at the traffic light, for instance, you know, it's our ancestors that designed that. And many more things. So there's a lot of things that came out of Africa that was great, and there's a lot of great things that Africans done in the world. But what happened, they divide and conquer us and make us feel like we're useless. And it's time. You know? Yes, Sheba, yeah, Sheba. I've been training hard. You know, I had to really drop a lot of pounds because you know, I'm diabetic, and the more weight you have on is the more it will affect you. So now I realize that I have to drop a lot of weight and get myself back where I could control my health. That's why I even take a break from social media. You know? Yeah, so that's it. Because you know, sometimes you get distracted on social media when you need to really focus on your health, focus on your family life, you know. So yes, sister, I'm good. Yes. I've been training real hard to get myself back to a fit state where I could control my diabetes better, and now I'm feeling great for it. So that break from social media was well needed, you know. So yeah, so you know, got to get focused. So what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters, when we come back here in the continent, you know, there's a lot of reasons for us to come back and learn the culture, for us to come back and slow down. Slow down. You cannot move the same pace as you move like when you're in the West. You're coming into a new country. You're coming into where cultures are different, where people doing things differently. And here in the continent, people take the time and they do things differently. They don't rush about. They don't take on the stress like what we take on out there in the Western world. You know, so when we get back here, we're going to need some time to adjust. You know, because we really don't want to bring the Western influence back here in our brothers and sisters. What we want to do is come back here and learn and understand our brothers and sisters. Learn the culture. Start learning the language. Start looking at how Africans do things, the African way. Because that is the way that we should be living, the African way. As you know, Africans, they focus a lot on the family values. And that's very important when you're here in Africa, to keep the family together. You know? So that's what I'm saying. As we Africans, we got to work together. We Africans have to realize that we've been through years and years of trauma. And only we gonna save ourselves from these trauma. And that means we just have to look at each other as brothers and sisters and work together. And put Africans first. Just like what every other race do. They put themselves first. You know? Support each other. It doesn't matter what. Support your brother when they have a business. Support your sister when they're opening a business. Don't pass your brother or sister shop and go into someone else's shop. Support your brothers and sisters. Let's help push each other. Let's start re-educating ourselves. Let's start to love ourselves as African. No need to try and change ourselves to look European. Look African, be African. And I do encourage people to come home. Come back to the motherland. You could live your best life here. You know, there's great things that are happening here on the continent. The continent is changing. Africans are changing globally. We're now waking up. We now realize the impact that we have on we now realize the impact that we have on the world, the influence we have on the world. We dominate sports. We dominate a lot of things. We as Africans, let's be proud of who we are. Let's respect our ancestors that gone before us, that fought so hard to give us the little freedom we have today, that some of us could now come back to the motherland as a family, set up business, build our home, and do different things. We have to give thanks to those. And we have to always give thanks to the ancestors that gone before us. This vision that happening now is a vision that Marcus Garvey had. And many more black freedom fighters had this vision, this repatriation back to the motherland. But what I'm saying, when we are coming, we have to prepare ourselves as well. We have to prepare ourselves to learn the African way, learn the African culture, you know? So yes, 1 second. Seth, 1 minute. Let me see if I could get someone else to come on the live stream as well. Seth, can we put out the link so if someone wants to join the stream? So, hold on there, just one. Seth, sorry. Can you put up the, just in case somebody wants to join the live? Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I just put up the link on the screen just in case if someone want to jump in and join to give their views, you know. But yes, I think that Africa can rid itself of colonization. But first, we're gonna need to change our mindset as Africans. You know, we're gonna really need that mindset change. We have to no longer see ourselves as servants, but to see ourselves as great leaders. You know, because great leadership came out of Africa for years. You know, we have strong African leaders. And we have to get away from the dependency syndrome as well, where we're dependent on everyone else to come and teach us this, everyone else to come and provide for us. We have to get away from that, you know? Yeah, we have to get away from all of that thing. You and Juliet are a strong team. Chantal, yeah, give thanks to that. Give thanks to that. Yeah, you should both be proud. It's been a long road for you. Yes, it's definitely been a long road, Chantal. You know, we've been here in the grounds for 3 years now. You know, and we've been putting in the work. It's not always easy. You know, as a family, we do have Seth, the camera gone. What happened? Sorry, I lose the camera. Sorry, we just had a technical issue. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, when we come back here now, we have to encourage our brothers and sisters. I'm sorry, this camera just keep 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so as I was saying, Brother Fitzroy, it's just that we have to come and encourage our brothers and sisters to study here in the continent because there are good universities in the continent. If you look, for instance, Rwanda, yeah, Rwanda got good university. Is there still no sound? Self, there is no sound. Sorry, can you all hear me? Self, come and check this, please. Oh, the sound is fine. Okay, okay, cool. But for some reason, the camera flashing. Self, where are you? Okay, you all can hear, yeah? Okay. Can you all see me clearly? Yes, okay then. All right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so as I was saying, Fitzroy, we do encourage Africans to study on the continent. You know, because there's some great universities here in the continent as well. But as I said, people always want to go to the West. You know, it's just something is just the mindset. You know, and when we change that mindset, you know, you would see a difference. You know, but Africa is rising. When you look at our brother Maya go around and show you the beautiful parts of Africa, sometimes you don't even realize that you're in Africa, some of the places that brother Maya is showing you. And you know, and he put in a lot of work to change our mindsets, a lot of work to get us to come back home. You know, brothers like Diane and Samir, they're doing hard work to show the continent in a beautiful light. You know, so it's for us. It's for us to come out of the West and come back, you know, invest, help invest in the brothers and sisters, help to build infrastructures. Because we Africans can do it. We have done it in the West. We as Africans can do it. You know. So, sorry. Just bear with me 1 second, please. Okay. Seth, my camera gone again. Seth. Okay, it's back. Sorry, there's having some technical issues now, but I think the camera is back now. Yeah. Yeah. So as I was saying, let's come home. Let's come home. You know, but what is also important, I don't know if our brothers and sisters ever travel to the West and they maybe learn, get an education there. It's good for them to actually bring it back, come back home, don't stay there. So if you might get the education in the West, bring it back home. Put it back into the continent. You know, because sometimes some of us may go there and stay there. I think that's the best thing to do. No, come back here. Share your knowledge with your brothers and sisters here. You understand? Because right now Africa is on the rise. And Africa is actually rising. I've seen it every day. I'm here in the Gambia and I've seen so many projects. So many development is coming. But I want you all to come and see for yourself. Come and see what you could do here in the motherland. Choose whichever country you want in West Africa. We chose Gambia because we love Gambia. Gambians are friendly people, kind people, warm and loving people. So when you're here in the Gambia, you feel free. You know, I haven't traveled to many African countries, but I know if you go to Senegal, if you go to different parts, you're going to meet brothers and sisters like yourself that is friendly, kind, you know. So we have to come back as Africans. We have to return home. We have to return home, you know, because the continent is rising. So anyway, if anybody want to join me, the live link is on the screen. So if anyone want to jump into the live, so we can have a discussion as well. And there are many ways how Africa could rid itself of colonization. Some of the leaders, I think what is important as well is for Africa to come together as one continent. When I say one continent, I mean to have one passport. Yeah. Yes. Judah Smith. Yeah. There's a lot of development going on. Yeah. There's a lot of development. The best time to visit Gambia, like now. Like now, a lot of people get here before the rainy season. But even in the rainy season is a good time to visit. But like now, the tourist season is high. A lot of things going on here in the Gambia. So, from November up until about June is a good time to come and visit the Gambia. That's when the tourist season is there. After June, July, you're going into the rainy season. So you might get less people coming at that time. But any time of the year you come to the Gambia, you will still see potential and things that you want to do. So don't worry, just book your flight and come over. But now, during the dry season now, it's good. It's good to come like now. You will get to see a lot more things, Yeah. So it will be a good time to come back to Gambia around this time. So yes, as I was saying, if Africa get one passport, just like the European passport, just like the American passport. Sorry, Ashantel, are you seeing an increase in the diaspora coming to live there? Yes, there's a lot of diasporans that are coming back to live here. A lot of them are here in the Gambia as well. And many more is traveling to different parts. Some is going to Ghana. Some is going to Sierra Leone. There's a big repatriation movement going on. And many people from the diaspora is actually coming back. A lot of people fed up with the West. A lot of people fed up with the West. Every day I go out on the road, I see a lot of diasporans that saying, "Oh, Adrian, we are back here because we've been watching your videos. I just set up this business. I just built a house." And it's a lot. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that are actually coming back to their motherland. They're coming back, they're settling down, they're opening business. Yeah, so as I'm saying, just come for yourself, just come and be a part of it, be a part of the African dream. So as I was saying now, if we move to that one continental passport, where we remove borders, that's going to be another way of ridding ourselves of the colonial rule, colonization. Because now Africa will be taking its own control. So, okay. Are you happy in the Gambia? Yeah, we're happy. I've been living here for 3 years. Yeah, we are happy here in the Gambia. We live the same life we live anywhere in the world. So yeah, we are happy here in the Gambia. But as I said, feel free. Feel free to take a trip, see it for yourself. Or wherever you choose to go in West Africa, But yeah, so we have a lot of work to do as Africans. And there's a lot of development, as I said, going on here in the continent. And I know one day we'll be able to rid ourselves of colonialism. Colonialism spread their wings all over globally. So it's not an easy task. But we have to do it. When we start embrace ourselves as Africans, Africans first. When we start work together as Africans, when we start to build each other up, without coming back from the West, if we work with our brothers and sisters here, we could do great, great, great things. Because we have a lot of talent here on the continent as well. So if we come and mix our talent with their talent, you only got to be progressive. So I do encourage people to come back here. Let's work together. And sometimes we come in with the knowledge from the West. We do understand how the Westerners think. And we could come back here and we'll be able to work with our brothers and sisters here to open up their mind. And show them that we can do it. Because Africa today is still the most fruitful continent on the planet. Has the most resources. Africa is still feeding the world up until this day. So it's for Africa to feed itself. Because we don't need to depend on anyone. Yeah, so I think Juliet is here now to join the live. So hold on there.
Hey, I'm so sorry, fam. Hello. I miss you. How you doing? Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah, that's okay.
How's everybody? Who's on the live? Greetings, fam. How are you? Apologies. I had an appointment and it went over, so I was trying to make it back because this is a really crucial and important topic for us to discuss, and moving forward for us to look at and debate those solutions. And how can we look at what kind of solutions we can put into place, especially now with the advent of technology, cryptocurrency, new technology for borders, also all of the new things that we have learned in the process, and also what we've understood about our colonizers. And so, yeah, let's have a look and see who's here. JJ, big up. Accra, big up. Ashantel, big up. Shiba Nima, big up. Let's have a look. Please jump in, say hi. I need to apologize to you because we haven't been doing as many lives as we used to, so I do apologize for that. The reason why is because obviously we've been traveling and also creating new content for you. So I hope you are watching and enjoying. As you can see, now that a lot of people have gone back to normal life, because it looks as though the pandemic has disappeared into thin air, because obviously war is here. So, hey, nice to see you, M. Palmer. When is the best time to visit Gambia? Now. Is now the time. The best time is always now. Get out as quickly as you can. As you know, what happened recently is just a role play for what the real deal is going to be. So you need to start putting, your plans into place. But I don't want to go too much off topic. And one of the things that I think deters us in a way and can impact on colonialism is our education, how we're educated, what we put into our minds, what we put into our children's minds. But listen, I don't want to be talking. I want you all to come and join us on the chat. Let's have a look, see if I can post it here. And someone said to me the other day, let's have a look, let me copy it. It is, are you worried? Because, obviously a lot of people are being affected now by less views and less things on subscriptions and stuff on YouTube, because of course we had the heyday when everybody was inside, and now everybody's kind of going back to, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, is going back to normal life. So the thing for me, what's important is you coming home. So that's not based on views, that's based on you realizing the opportunities that lay here for you in Africa. And that's what, that's the whole hiatus. That's the motivation. That is the motivation behind us doing what we're doing, and looking forward to Africa, as a solution for us as Black people. Yes. No, I'm all right. I've got water. Thank you very much. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to all of those people that have been supporting Bla Xit from the beginning. For all of those people that have actually Bla Xit, it's funny. I sat down somewhere today and I saw so many of our brothers and sisters who are Africans born in America. Yeah, and they were at the Senegambia Hotel. I just want to remind everybody there are Gambian-owned hotels here as well. And I think maybe I'll do a feature of programs once again on Gambian-owned hotels, so that we can help to promote those Gambians, those those African Gambian owned businesses that are here in tourism, and of course Gambian eateries, Gambian restaurants, and Gambian businesses, so that when you do come, you do patronize those Gambian businesses, and of course the diaspora business, the businesses of African descendants that are here, much like what we've been doing with Gamjam and so on, and other places, of course, MO2s, etc. So we now claiming China is spiking again. Juliet, people are preparing themselves to come home. It might be 1 year, 3 years, but we are all on our missions. That is amazing. That is such good news. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. Because, I mean, the life you live here is amazing. I mean, I can only talk for myself. And I'm really so glad that I made the choices, and you know, that I made, and also for the family, for our son, and moving forward, also to have influence on others as well. As you know, the journey has not been easy for us in terms of trying to help people to repatriate. Firstly, you know, it's come at a cost. You know, and that cost has been a heavy one, so far as I feel personally, with my reputation, well, our reputations, being tarnished, and being defamed, and being lied upon, and so on. When all you've tried to do is to help people to come home by creating repatriation packages. And those repatriation packages afforded people to have land who might not have been able to have land, and large amounts of land. And they came under a repatriation cost. Some people got land for as cheap as 20,000 dollars, which is the equivalent to like £300. But, you know, chose to go and defame you for the fact that you tried to help them to get it, you know, and didn't understand the process in here. And so, yeah, it has been a journey which has impacted on us personally, impacted on our relationship, impacted on our lives, impacted on, you know, our businesses, impacted on every facet of our life. But yet we still continue, and we're still here, and we're still happy, because the majority of the problems that I have not been coming from Gambians or in Gambia. Most of it has been from cyber attack and cyber bullying outside. And, you know, that has really you know, impacted on the way in which, you know, I realized the potential that the online and social media can have negatively. And I think, you know, because in my mind, I always think positively about things. But the reason why I mention social media, just to tie into the subject, is because Africa can rid itself of colonialism by using social media to re-educate ourselves. And I think that's part of the process. Re-education has to be a large part of the process. Yeah. Kath, someone's asking to say hi. Chantal is asking for you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if Tamla is black owned, by the way. I'm not sure about that. Say hi. Say hi, Chantal.
Hi, Chantal.
Say smash that like button for her, go on.
Smash that like button for her.
Oh, he's too funny. He's too funny. So we will be back doing lives on a more frequent and regular basis. I just wanted you to know. We are aiming to also travel, like I said, so we do split responsibilities. So I generally do the traveling, and of course, Cafe is here at school. So we are going to try and do some more traveling. Cafe really enjoyed Senegal. So I think doing more of those kinds of trips that are child friendly is important. I'm just reading the comment from Tuko. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, there is so much happening in the Gambia that it is so exciting, so exciting. Every day there's a new development, there's something else happening, and it is truly amazing. No, you can't. But anyway, just to stick to subject, I think that social media is a tool that we can use to enlighten our children. And, you know, they're the next generation, because some of us, I'm sorry to say, but we're a bit long in the tooth, you know, to learn new things. Not to say that you can never, you know, it's ever too late. But what I mean is that our brains are kind of conditioned and programmed, but the next generation coming through, we can influence them and teach them about their rich history, you know, and ideal, you know, show them different ideals and give them the opportunity to do things differently, create different technology. You know, we can move away from normalized norms and start to explore again, start to be creative again, start to look into different ways of doing things again. And I think that is something that we need to do. We really need to remember our creativity. We're the ones that, you know, created hygiene. We're the ones that, you know, created civil obedience. We're the ones that created the chair, even, you know. So we've got to, you know, reclaim our crowns. We've got to reclaim our achievements, because many achievements have been, you know, misappropriated and given to other people as credit. I saw an advertisement for a film the other day, and it looked like the whole cast for this film, which was an Egyptian film, was white. Since when? You know, since when? But this is part of the colonial agenda. The colonial agenda is to make you be ashamed of who you are. And once we can reclaim our Africanness, once we can reclaim and love our Blackness, you know, I think that we can start to love ourselves again. Love our bodies again, love our complexions again, love our hair again, love what we stand for again, love our culture again. So Benny Marie said, life isn't easy. Every African who stands for truth and rights gets a fight. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Nkrumah, Lumumba, Sankara, Magufuli, Mil Cabral, sorry. I was there in Guinea-Bissau. You will see a program about that as well, so I don't want to do a spoiler, but the list is too long to list. I agree with you. There are so many. Stephen Biko, yeah, Nanny of the Maroons, you know, so many have been sacrificed. Kimpavita, divide and conquer, and enemies within. Yeah, we have a lot of enemies within. Like I said, you know, I have personally, you know, suffered personally, but, you know, we fight on, we continue. And it has been challenging, because sometimes you have to wonder about your own motivation for doing it, because sometimes it's the same people that are looking at you that are tearing you down, that are pushing you down. Your betrayal sometimes come from a much closer space to you than you even think. Your betrayal can, you know, the enemy is within. And so, you know, that's also been challenging. But you still have to keep going on. And I think that's what's important. But colonialism, you know, we have to get rid of. His new fitness regime is working wonders. He's walking a lot, and that's very, very healthy. Like I said, trying to swim as well is also very healthy. So thank you very much for talking about this.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. As I said, my health depends on it. I'm diabetic, so I have to keep the weight off, to control my sugar levels, my blood sugar levels, you know. So yes, and thank you all for the constant support of Bla Xit. You know, as Juliet was saying, it's not been easy. You know, it's been a challenge. You know, and all we was trying to do is get people to come home.
Yeah.
You know, but it wasn't easy, as you all see. A lot of us that stand up for Pan-Africanism always get challenges, some serious challenges, but we have to just keep going. We have to keep moving on, because what we're trying to do, we're trying to build a global family, not just an individual family, but a global family to reconnect people back to the motherland. So it doesn't matter what challenges we face. Our ancestors chose us to do a job, and we have to get that job done. You understand? So sometimes you have to work and find strength from within you to keep on going and to encourage others to come. You know, let's build back this global African family.
Yeah,
let's come home. Whatever challenges we meet, we will deal with it. But the biggest challenge we need to do is to get over our fear. Get over that fear that we can't do it, that we need the West. No, because the best is in Africa. Everything is still here in Africa. All the resources that in the West is still here in Africa. So we have to come back and tap into those resources. We have to come back and build back the African family, the global African family. We have to come back home. It doesn't matter what the challenges are, we will get through it. We're African. We are the ones that are coming back from the West, they are descendants of the enslaved. Imagine what our ancestors went through to even survive the Middle Passage. We are the survivors. So there's nothing that we can't go through. There's no challenge going to be too heavy that we can't deal with. But I'm encouraging all to come back. Be a part of Africa no matter what. Come back here. Today I had a very good meeting with a guy that owns a travel company. And some of the ideas that he's given me is great. You know, so I would have to go and sit down with him because it's going to be beneficial for a lot of us repatriating. And not only that, for intercontinental travel as well. Africans coming from different parts of Africa to do business. But we can do it. Africans, we can do it. And we have to do it, as Marcus Garvey said. This repatriation started years ago, before we were even born. So we only now come to fit another part of the puzzle. So come home, my people. Come home.
Yeah, like I was saying, hi, Amina. Nice to see you. I was speaking to you earlier today, and I'm really looking forward to. We're going to do a program, actually, alive, which is going to be looking at crypto. There are some excellent Black initiatives, African initiatives, I should say, that have been very successful recently. So I would like us to talk about that as another alternative way to helping you to, you know, amass an income, amass wealth, amass, you know, prosperity and abundance in order to help you to get home. So some of that also has to do with making the right investments. And so that's great. Like I said, at the moment, the plots that we have available in Busura, we have another annex, and we were given 50 additional plots in that annex. And these plots, you know, and the land is clean, the land is clear, it's Busura. Many people are already building there. Already established their homes there, already built their walls there, and already, of course, have got their paperworks there. So, and some have been delayed for whatever reason, but, you know, everyone's still plowing ahead. In Africa, things sometimes don't go according to the time frame that you want.
Hello, Elon. How are you?
Hi, Elon and Tani there, Mr. and Mrs. Sylvester. Who have done great works here in the Gambia. I want to say thank you to you for helping. They even helped to build a road here in the Gambia, in Nimakunku. So it was down to their church. If you watched the live that we did with them before, you would know all about it. But it was their Methodist church, Universal Methodist Church, that has helped us so much.
Westbury.
Yeah, Westbury Methodist Church in New York. So, which is part of the United Methodist Churches, isn't it? Yeah. And so, yeah, wanted to say a big shout out to you, to Elon. He was here recently, and we loved having you here. It was great to see you, and to everybody that we've seen actually recently. We've seen so many people.
Yeah, there's many people.
We've seen so many people. There's not enough hours in the day for us to get to see everybody. But, you know, we are still trying to put those repatriation packages together, so you can still get land for $1,000. You know, we charge a management fee, of course, just to cover our costs. So, but you can still get land for $1,000 here, a plot of land, and in a nice location as well. And it's very close to the second city, which is called Brikama. So, you know, don't hesitate to get in contact with us via info@blaxithome.com. I will put the address on the screen during the live, because we can rid ourselves of colonization when we come back. Because one of the things that we do is that when you've lived in the West and then you come back to Africa, there are things that you know and that you've experienced and you can share. And I think that's important. Benny Maroon said, Adrian, stand firm, take care of your health. Juicing intermittent fasting with Joe Dash Melanin book. He has online sessions for his program and health. Juliet, you're looking beautiful tonight. Oh, thank you, my dear.
Yeah, I'm also going to launch a building
Thank
company
you.
as well, yeah? So I'll be taking care of a lot of construction work. So I'm going forward. So if some of you coming back and want to build your home, you just get in touch with us.
Okay, Carl, you'd like to join us? Carl, welcome. How are you?
Hello,
Welcome
hello.
to Bla Xit.
I'm very happy to be with you tonight. My name is Carl. I am from Cameroon and I live in Canada. I have a few questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
I see it is very new for me, this movement of repatriation. I see a lot of Black people from America, from the UK, from the Caribbean, moving from there to Africa. And I want to know, I have a very simple question. How do you think that it is possible for all the Black people born here to move to Africa? Because from what I see there in Canada, those countries are very developed. They have infrastructure, they have everything. But in Africa, we don't have everything yet. But it is what we have. You can live with that. But do you feel like Black people here from the Caribbean, America can live in Africa with what we have and be happy?
You know what? I think that's relative and it depends on you as a person. So it's really hard for me to generalize for everybody. But what I can do is talk about my own experience.
Okay.
Because I think it's only fair. And the experience of many other people that I've met who have repatriated here also. And so in terms of my experience of leaving the Western infrastructure, in fact, I was actually surprised because the infrastructure is also here. Yes, there are some things lacking. But in general, I mean, when I was in England, I'll give you an example. When I was living in England, yeah, I had all the infrastructure, I had everything, but I also had the taxes and the bills. Now, let me explain something to you. In England, I still had the internet. Here, I still have internet. In England, I had electricity, which I paid for through the nose every quarter. Here, my electricity comes from the sun. So I'm not having that bill. Here, in England, I was paying water rates. Yeah. Here, I'm not paying water rates. My water comes from the earth. Yeah.
Okay.
In England, I had to pay to go swimming. When I get up, I go swimming in my swimming pool in my backyard. I'm not paying anyone to go swimming. I treat my own pool and I pay my own staff, which works out cheaper than what I was paying in my membership to go swimming and gym. Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it's been far more cost effective. My car insurance cost me what, £20 a year? I was paying 1,500 for that infrastructure. Thank you very much. Yeah. And I'm driving an eco car. Yeah. Some of the roads, I drive a 4x4, as everybody knows. And some of the roads, you know, they're in need of improvement, but I can still drive on them and I can still get from A to B. So who wants to pay congestion charge, £12.50, you know, every time to drive through London just so that you can drive on clear roads? And if you miss that payment, then it triples, doubles overnight. No, thank you. Who wants to go where you park and then you're given a parking fine, which doubles and triples?
Okay.
Yeah. Why do I want to live where I can't watch TV without wondering if someone's going to knock at my door and give me a £10,000 fine for watching the TV because I refuse to have a license? Right?
Okay.
Why is it that I get taxed for NHS, for the NI, which you think that the NHS, the medical care that you're getting is free? Yeah, I still have to go and pay £12 for a prescription just to get some antibiotics. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, yes, this is a pay-as-you-go society, but I prefer a pay-as-you-go society rather than living on credit and debt.
Okay.
I would rather live in a society with people who love me, who love me. They love me. They don't just like me, but they love me. Why would I swap that for a society with people who hate me and are racist towards me, who discriminate towards me, who can't stand a bone of me?
Okay. It is very important to
my ancestors. Every time I look at a pound note, I see the woman's face whose family was responsible for the enslavement of my ancestors, who put their royal seal on their body from a hot fire with a branding iron. So how am I supposed to make even that comparison of what the facility of what better healthcare? There's private hospitals here, pay as you go. There's fresh food here. I eat better here. You go to Sainsbury's or Tesco's or wherever, you know, I was going to a supermarket, you don't even know how long that food's been stored.
Okay.
Why? Because most of the countries we live in aren't actually producing the fruit that you're and the food that you're eating. They're not growing mangoes. They're not got fresh coconuts. You understand where I'm coming from? So it's like, in one sense, it's like I didn't even know dasheen was purple until I came to Africa. I thought it was grey because we never got it fresh.
Okay, it is very important to talk about this because we people born in Africa, Black people born on the continent, sometimes we feel uncomfortable to say to our brothers here in the Caribbean, in America, they can move to Africa because we know we lack of infrastructure, and there is always this side of your life won't be like in America, but you will have the peace of mind. That it is very difficult for us to explain.
I never had peace of mind. This is the whole thing. In England, I never had peace of mind.
Yeah.
I woke up in fear. I went to bed in fear. I was working every hour to make money, to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So to pay a gas bill, to keep warm. You know, it wasn't, what peace of mind was you having? And this is where I think that I would rather swap bad roads, right? Bad roads, because that's all the infrastructure for me. You know, the power cuts and the power outages as well. Like I said, I'm solar. So there are ways around things anymore. We don't have to sit there. Africa is developed. You go to Port Harcourt in Nigeria. You go to parts of Lagos. You go to parts of Ghana. You're not missing. You go to parts of Senegal. What are you actually missing? You got the same highways. I drove to Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, there was one part where the roads were really bad, but you know, I would say there was the huge part where the roads were amazing. So what am I missing? What, driving on some tarmac? And it's about infrastructure, and I could get fresh food on the side of the road. I could get, you know, yam. I could get fresh cassava. I could get fish. I could get soup. I could get fruits.
Yeah.
You're living like a queen. You're living like a queen here. It's the opposite. You know what? So I want to go shopping at midnight, so I can still go to my local shop. You know, my local shop is not open till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It might not be Tesco's, or it might not be any of those large supermarkets, but I can still go and get the essentials that I need. I still got a freezer. You know, I still got a fridge. I still got a cooker. You know, I still got my internet. I still got my computer. I still got Netflix, because I still got everything. So what are you really talking about that I'm really, really missing? I still got 2 offices that we operate from.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
You know,
I asked that question. Yeah, I'm very happy. I asked that question because I want you to tell her your experience, because I was on another debate with people, and a lady, Americans, Black Americans who live in Cameroon, was telling the experience she has there, and people were talking about infrastructure, but the part that they did not get is that she has the peace of mind. She won't have the infrastructure of America. It is not New York City, of course, but she has everything.
I wouldn't want to live in New York City.
Yeah, and
I
the
wouldn't
lady
want to live in New York City. I don't want to live in a high dense community with high levels of crime. You understand? Especially like in Chicago, like where there's so much murder. Why would I want to live in that environment when I can live in a peaceful environment? Why would I want to live where I can't see animals, where I can't live in nature? Well, I want to walk down the road and pick a mango. I'm so sorry, yeah, people forgive me for saying that. I want to go into my garden and get a guava. I want to get my own bananas from my backyard. Yeah, I want to pick oranges. I want to eat fresh oranges with pips in them. Yeah, I want to have proper grapefruit. You understand? I want it like sweet pine. I want to feel the vibration of life itself, and that is strangled when you're in those environments, except for maybe walking through Central Park. But you know, I don't feel alive there.
And
I
we
feel
should
more
say that.
alive here. I can go to the beach and go and sit down by the beach and have lunch and talk freely in tranquility and not worry about, you know, oh my gosh, I've got to go here. Oh my gosh, I've got to go there. Oh my gosh, you know, and then constantly worrying about time.
Yeah. We should tell them that to our brothers here in Canada, in America, because I discuss sometimes with them, and that things is what I think. I think it is a big problem for them, the infrastructure part, especially young people. You know, people with, you know, old people, they can understand, but young people, it is very important for them to have some infrastructure, and the image they have in Africa is not what it is actually. They will have everything, but they don't know that. And that is why, for me, it is very important that you talk about that and you tell them your experience in Africa. You are not sleeping on a tree. You are not, I mean, you have what you need to live.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still go to the mall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still go to the shopping mall, you know. I still meet my friends for a smoothie and ice cream. You know, I still have the modern aspects of life that I left. I still have access to them. I still go to the optician, you know, I still go to a dentist. They put a camera in my mouth, you know, and I can see what they're doing. I still have access to my hairdresser. I can still go to a spa and have a full body massage jacuzzi. You know, there's not really much that I'm actually missing. I can still go for a lovely meal if I want to go to Smile Lounge, or I want to go to Place B, or, you know, or if I want to, you know, go off the beaten track maybe and go back to something that I was familiar with from England, like propaganda, I can go there too. What I'm trying to say to you is that, you know, for me, you've got the best of both worlds here, and that's what I like. I have the best of both worlds. Yes, there are some things that are limited, but it doesn't stop me from traveling to Senegal. It doesn't stop me from, you know, going to another country to go and fly there, because you're on the continent of Africa. And like I said, Africa is like a mansion with many rooms. Choose one and go. If you want to go to a certain part to go and get something, you know, take a trip. The same way as you would if you was in England. If you was in England and you want to go and get certain French things, you fly to Paris or you take the ferry to Paris. It's the same thing. We'll do that here. You know, instead of doing that, let's do into Africa. You know, let's go into Africa. And we can do it. So there's nothing that you can't get in Ghana. There's nothing that you can't get in Nigeria. Nigeria has 56, you know, different states. And each of those states is like a country. You go to Lagos, go to Abuja, go to Port Harcourt.
Nigeria is big. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you know, even like they have, you know, each area has its own language, its own nuances. You know, how far, we that to all of my people down there. And so, you know, we have got so much, but we don't realize it. You know, when I was in Guinea-Bissau, I had some scrumptious food, I tell you, and I bought beautiful clothes, you know, and I had an amazing time. And I went to this place called Barajuda and another place called Chanista. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to show you online, you know, when it's edited and put up. But there's just so much life and love and enjoyment and fulfillment. You want to, my keys are there. So there's so much fulfillment. Yeah.
You have talked about food. Huh? So in Guinea-Bissau, am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So you talk about food. I am from Cameroon, and I have to tell you that we have a very specific food. Our country is doing like tourism. People come just to eat the food, and it is not even black people; it is white people all over the place. So the day you will taste Cameroonian food, tell me what you think about it. It is
I'm
amazing.
coming.
It is
Black
amazing.
Xit. Black Xit is going
Yeah,
to start. I promised Rhoda Maya, that I would
yeah,
continue with Black Xit regardless of everything that's going on. And one of the things that I want to do is to obviously, Rhoda Maya is doing a fantastic job of changing the narrative. We've got another person joining us of changing the narrative. Hey, Kwame, big love to you. Changing the narrative. And I also, want to discover more of Africa and share the Black Xit journey in different places. So I'm planning to go to Nigeria. I'm not going to say where just yet because I haven't confirmed the locations. And
okay,
also to Ghana. So,
okay,
we did Senegal, we did Guinea-Bissau. And
yeah,
I want to also go back to Senegal because there's so much more I didn't get to come up. So we
mm,
have to, try to look at, having that experience of at least coming on holiday. And I think
yeah,
once you come on holiday and it expels some of those myths, when you see some of the beautiful hotels and you experience some of the beautiful life you can have here, it will change your mind about the
mm,
reality that you're living. And that's what happened to us,
mm,
over 10 years ago. And so, and for me, it was 22 years. It was well over 22 years ago when I first went to Africa. So it was during that time, I think about 28 years ago, I think, and that means so much. That means so much to me, that experience guided me, back. It was so important to be here. And like I said, colonialism can be impacted on if we travel to Africa, because we can change things. Experience allows you to change things. You will teach your children differently about themselves, loving themselves, seeing themselves. One of the
mm,
things that I went to was a place called Independence Square in Guinea-Bissau. And when I was
yeah.
there was these young girls and teenagers dressed in their traditional dressing with their traditional hair,
Oh wow.
plaited. Oh my God. It blew my mind. It was like, oh my
Mm,
gosh.
oh
It was
wow.
so beautiful to see, the papille and so on.
Mm,
And I never knew what papille was. So it was a whole new
mm,
learning experience to me. But I want to
mm.
welcome our guest, Kwame, to the stream and ask you for your contribution to today's topic. Can Africa rid itself of colonialism?
Hello, my lovely sister Nacho. Long time no see. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. And I'm sorry for my absence. I apologize sincerely to you all.
Oh, no. It's understandable. It's understandable. My sister, you don't have to tell me everything. Everything you've said is spot on. It is spot on. It's about time as Africans we come home. We come home because where we live is not our home. And another thing as well, the injustice that's going on, where we are is getting worse and worse, and the inequality as well. We must wake up and know that Africa is our home. Africa is nowhere else is our home but Africa. We can do it, natural. It's not the first time. Yeah, we've done it so many times. I mean, you lucky yourself. You've gone. I mean, you've gone to Dakar. You've gone. Where else have you gone to? That where you're now in Banjul. You're still in Banjul. Come to Accra. Yes, we will welcome you. Come.
I'm
I'm going to
coming.
Accra next year. Yes. Come to Accra. Come. Enjoy yourself. Come to see Accra for yourself. Come. You're welcome. Yeah, you are welcome. And who knows, I might bump into you if I'm in Accra next year. Hope by our ancestry.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go this year.
Yes.
All being well. I'm a little bit concerned about some of the conditions imposed for entry for Ghana. So
Yeah,
that
I
is one
know.
of my
It's madness. I agree with you. We're going over the top. Come on, Africa's our home. Do you need to copy the nonsense from those who oppressed us, who exploited us, who manipulated us. Come on, we are Africans. We are our own people. We must set our own standards, yeah? And we have our own laws. Why should we copy someone else's? We're still misguided.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this is a concern of mine, and that's why I asked the question, can Africa actually rid itself of colonialism? Because if someone says jump and you say how high, then how free are you? Yeah. How free are you? How independent are you? If someone controls your infrastructure, they control your economy, they control your ports, they control you know, everything, your fuel, your energy source, they control.
Oh my goodness. Getting worse and worse. I like your piece on Baba Garvey, Sister Nihat.
And even your belief structures.
Yeah, it was inspirational. It's true. Baba Garvey, yeah, when he founded his UNIACL, he didn't depend on anyone. He could show that the African could control his own things. The Black Star Line, the Negro world, what's it? Groceries, restaurants, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Oh, Sister Nihat, when I read about, I mean, I'm not surprised what Baba Garvey did. But this is what we must do as Africans, do things for ourselves. Stop depending on those who don't look like you and I. And the nonsense we come out with here, Nihat, when Baba Garvey said race first, we start saying it's racism. What are you talking about? It's racism. Others non-Africans use that term. So why did you choose the word racism? See how we look foolish sometimes. Why did Baba Garvey use the word race first? He used the word race first so that Africans could do things for ourselves and identify with only us. Only us.
Everyone else does race first.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
Every other racial group does race first. Every other racial group does race priority, race solidarity. Okay?
Yes.
They do it as a matter of, and they have, you know, something which they use a lot, which is the propaganda systems, you know, in order to propagate that, whether it's by British, for example, or, you know, it's, you know, made in UK, you know, they all have systems for ensuring that their economies are driven by their own and sustained by their own, and obviously ensure that they can take resources from outside to maintain their own. You see, and manipulate other people's resources, steal and plunder other people's resources in order to sustain their own. And as soon as you say, you know, I want to do black first or African first, you know, people have an issue with it. I want to talk about it. The other day, for example, I was talking about the situation that's been going on with Russia and Ukraine, and someone said to me, "Oh, are you worried?" I said, "Worried about what? They can go do whatever they want to themselves. I'm not interested." And they're like, "Well, how can you feel like that? You know, Juliet, don't you care?" I said, "Care about who and what and why?"
Would you care about what? What do you want to care about? What?
About who and what and why? Explain to me.
Why should we care?
Explain to me.
It's not got nothing to do with me as well. If they go there, let them go there. No one asks them to go there. Why should I care? Do I care what's that? What's to do with me? Why should I care?
Are there? And I said, Africans are in Ukraine? They said, yes. And you know, what they're doing to them there, and the racism there, and this and that. And I said, oh.
So who asked us to go there, though? Who asked us to go there? No one asked you and I to go there. They went because they wanted to show off. So what else? What do you expect us to do? If you tell me, Yakil, yeah, I'm going to say I'm now going to be say if I'm going to, let's say, for instance, Bulgaria. You ask yourself, are you mad? What do you want to go to someone else's land for when they know you're not welcome? Let me tell you this, my sister. I'd rather someone tells me that you're not welcome in my land than a devil who's two-faced who pretend that it's all nicey. We Africans can be our own worst enemy. You know perfectly well these places you're going to is not it brings tensions, but you just go there to show off.
So someone just asked me, what is Perspective? Perspective is a partner company to Bla Xit that has been supporting us with footage, droning footage, editing, and support. So they are a partner company to Bla Xit. So we are business partners. And so part of that is that I always try to say thank you for their support by promoting their brand. So please go and to the Perspective channel and subscribe. And if you've not subscribed to Bla Xit yet, please subscribe, and please smash that like button. Please smash that like button, and don't forget to go to all of the other fantastic channels that are about as well that we support. But and also you can get in contact with us if you'd like to find out about any of the repatriation opportunities that we have. We have some great opportunities at the moment, and please do not miss out. We've even got land which is not far from the sea in Gunjur, and but there aren't many left. And of course, they are much cheaper than market value because they're bought on a repatriation basis. And also, you know, you've got the deal with TAF, which gives you an additional 2% discount if you purchase a house in TAF City through Bla Xit. So, you know, do not miss out on the opportunity to get in there in the smart, fast, developing, growing city here in the Gambia. And so, in fact, that even rolls into the next question, that the previous question that the last guest that we had on was asking about the infrastructure. We're going to have a brand new city here, twice the size of Banjul, with all of the infrastructure and systems, and probably better than, you know, some of the areas that we're living in outside of Africa. So, you know what more can I say? You know, and I'm talking beautiful. When you look at it now, it's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to show you what it's like now. I keep doing the updates, you know, and also you can have, you know, you can have your business in a commercial center, the same as you would in England or America anyway. So why do you need to be there?
Let's forget about America, Europe and America.
Give me the sun, sea, sand.
That's what we're talking about. We don't care about Europe and America. As far as I'm concerned, that's not my problem. Only Africa's my problem. That is their main thing, my sister. Because with us, yeah, even in Africa itself, we all want to come to Europe and America. You can come if you want, but let me tell you this: you ain't coming for anything special, but a hostility. That's again with African people. We don't want to accept things that, yeah, because we think that. When we say these things, well, we're scaremongering and so on. You go for yourself. In fact, I wanted to tell you something before I go, my sister. I'm sure you came to bump into this. There was an African that was in Russia. Do you know what happened to him? He got stabbed to death. You shouldn't be surprised, Niacho.
Do you know, I'm not. In fact, you know, can I just say the reason why I show this face is, and the reason why any death of my brother or my sister is upsetting for me. Okay,
Yes,
especially
definitely.
an untimely murderous death as that would have been, especially based on racism. But no, I am not shocked, and neither am I surprised, because racism is not going away anytime soon. The same way colonialization is not going away anytime soon. If you think that colonization is not still in Africa, you are so mistaken. All it has is
absolutely. Tell it, my sister. It is still there.
Yeah. Every facet of life in Africa is predisposed to colonization.
Mm-hmm.
Every facet of life in Africa is predisposed to colonization. From the second and first languages that we speak, whether it's Portuguese in Guinea-Bissau, whether it's French in Senegal, whether it's English in Ghana, whether it's German, whether it's Italian, we are all predisposed. And you know, the fact of the matter is that structures are still there. When I was in Guinea-Bissau, I was surprised to see some of the old colonial buildings there, just like what they have here in Gambia. And the thing is, should they still be standing? And some of the, you know, statues and monuments, come on now, why are they still there?
Exactly. What are they doing there still? Come on, fair Africans.
Why are we still commemorating our
things are around? Why are they around? Why are they still around? Come on. This is our continent. We should be building things about us, not about our foes. What's wrong with us? Oh boy. And even when I'm down, I'm not surprised.
If we are still taught,
white Jesus.
I'm sorry, but if we are still taught,
break away from this nonsense and be yourselves.
If we are still taught, right,
Yeah.
Right? I'm sorry to say it, but if we are still going to be taught,
No,
right,
tell it.
that the Caucasian, right, is our savior, we are never going to rid ourselves of the brain damage.
Absolutely right.
If we are constantly going to think that white is right, black step back, brown take a frown, we are never going to rid ourselves of this. Every time I see a skin lightening advertisement on the
right,
road,
my sister, tell it.
so upset. I feel upset. I feel upset to my core, to my spirit, because this is the continuum of colonization. Why should you want to lighten your skin?
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Why should you
It's
want to
still
lighten your
colonization.
skin?
We're brainwashed. We're not identifying with ourselves. We're not identifying with our roots. We're not identifying with our land. We're copying what those who oppressed us and exploited us and manipulated us all this long. Yeah, it's no wonder we can't break ourselves. When was the
Well, they fled to Africa.
done? Yes.
Well, they flood here. This is the thing. They continue the colonization by their very presence. While they flood here. While they flood
What
here.
annoyed me as well, my sister. Some of my relatives, I was not happy with their behavior.
You have to hold your head.
Yeah. What I was annoyed with my sisters, a couple of our relatives I was very annoyed with them, yeah. We have our own names, right? And then guess what they're going to do? They gave our names, yeah, to our oppressors. And I was giving them looks. So listen, man, don't disrespect me, right? When we have our names as Africans, it has a meaning. Why are you giving these demons our names for? When did a European become pussy? When did they become queer or neatio? You're insulting us, okay? Do you think the reason why you got their names, yeah, is because you're so ashamed of our own names?
Wow.
It's the truth.
Yes.
We need to wake up as African people and be proud of who we are. Neatio, it's been nice, yeah? Take it easy, my sister. All the best. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jetta Jeff. Yeah.
Ashay.
Baraka. Yeah. Rama. Okay. Amitakati. So I was just, trying to practice my languages is very important for us to, have our languages. And Kwame, you still there? Okay, I think he's gone. All right. So, I really, really want to say that there's hope. And people might say that's an illusion or a facade. However, when I say that there is, if you plan ahead, you can make change. If you think ahead, you can implement that change. And it's the generation coming that might be carrying and might be the messengers on and the actual archetypes of that change. Because things aren't going to stay the same. And I think in a pre-post, what do they call it, epidemic time that we're in, we now have choices. We've had time to think. We've had time to wake up. We've had time to realize, hang on a minute, I have choices about what I want in my life. I have choices about what I take into my system. I have choices about what I'm going to believe. Because if you look very clearly at the colonial, what's the word I want to say, propaganda that was spewed, and you compare it to the changes and the U-turns that have been done now that, they've got their mass, they've got to the what's the word I'm looking for? They've got to the number of people that they wanted to, be their guinea pigs. Now they've got the critical mass is the word I was looking for. Now they've got to the critical mass of guinea pigs that they wanted. Now there's a U-turn, right? Now people are saying, oh no, the impact is this on your health. No, the impact is that on your health, and so on and so forth. So the question is that, how many more things have we been fed as lies? Colonization has never been good for Africa. never will be good for Africa, never could be good for Africa. Not in any one stretch of any imagination could be oppression of another people's be good for Africa. Neither could be control of your resources be good for Africa. Allowing someone else to control your resources. I don't care if they come with smiling faces and aid, because when they come with aid, they find another way to manipulate you into taking and controlling your resources. They come with loans. They come with loans so they can give it to you on a short-term basis, but control you on a long-term basis. Yeah, that's backdoor colonialism. Yeah, self-sufficiency is the only way forward. Self-sufficiency is the only way forward. We have to be moving forward, backward never, forward ever. That's the way through colonialism. We have to re-educate ourselves, find out our own true knowledge. Think for ourselves. Stop being programmed by others. Start to make moves for ourselves, realizing that the West is not the best for us. Realizing that we have to love ourselves. Stop tearing each other down. Stop critiquing each other. Stop criticizing each other. Stop finding fault with each other. Stop trying to find anything to make someone who's successful unsuccessful. When are we going to start making each other successful instead? When can we rise up every morning? In fact, why don't we rise up every day? It's time for us to stop mourning. And in fact, when are we going to give credit for our ancestors who paved the way for us? When are we going to have a national day of our mourning for our ancestors? When are we going to have that national day? When? When are we going to have a ritual for all Africans worldwide, a ritual for all Africans to pay homage, to regain our spiritual power? When? That's one way out of colonization, is understanding that you have power. You're not powerless, you're powerful. When you acknowledge that, when you know that death is not the end, it's the beginning. You will not fear death. You will not fear making sacrifices for the next generation. Yeah? You know how many people said, oh, you know, Julia, oh, Nyancho, oh, you should be frightened. They're going to come for you. They're going to take you out. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. You know what? My legacy has already been left. And I've had influence. And that's what I wanted to have, was that influence, and to share my experience, to share my joy, to share my love with you, to share the experience of coming home with you. So if I've done that, my job is done. And I'll be more powerful in the next realm than this. So it will just might create a martyr. So what I'm trying to say is that we are warriors. We are not intimidated by anybody. We are not fearful of anybody. We move forward with our own grace. We move forward with our own knowledge, our own intellect, our own intelligence, our own wisdom, our own ancient knowledge. And we shouldn't be afraid of our ancient knowledge. Part of colonization, just to share with you some of the tricks of colonization. One of the tricks of colonization was to make you hate your past. One of the other tricks of colonization was to destroy families. One of the other tricks of colonization was to destroy and take you away from any kind of art and science, ancient or spirituality, and to demonize it so that you wouldn't want to use it again, to take you away from your nature, to take you away from your herbs, to take you away from your root work, to take you away from yourself, right? One of the aims of colonization is to imprison your mind. The other side is to imprison you and to use you as a slave to build up their own infrastructure, to control your resources, to control how you think by controlling your education, to control how you have relationships by dictating how they should and shouldn't be. We are all transient beings having relationships at different times in different ways with different people. But they want to tell you that you have to live your life in one way. And you used to say that that's the right way. Who? So, you know, I always remember Chief Benny Wenda, you know, of West Papua, and I will never forget the fight of those in West Papua who are fighting colonization right here, right now in 2022. And never forget Free West Papua, the movement for Free West Papua. Never, anyone, please do not forget them, because they are still fighting today. They were colonized by the Dutch, colonized by the English, colonized by the French, and they're being colonized by the Indonesians. And they're still fighting. Okay? And, you know, one of the things that Chief Benny Wenda said to me, I said to him, but West Papua has so much gold. That's why they're there, is that they're just taking the resources and killing the people. And I said to him, but, you know, why don't you all try and get the gold and then, you know, utilize it? And he asked me a very valid question. He said, can I eat it? He said, when we go to our forest and we dig up our sweet potato, we can eat that. That gives us sustenance for the next day. What they're doing with the gold and what they're doing is destroying our rivers, destroying our earth, destroying our infrastructure, destroying our people, destroying our culture, poisoning the land, poisoning the very sustenance that we need to live from. And so, like I said, you know, Kwame just said our education system should have our own subjects, like our own history, our own philosophy, our own law, our own languages, and our own science. And we have them all. We have them all. Okay? We have them all. In fact, I met a prince when I was in Guinea-Bissau as well. But anyway, I won't go into that. That's another story for another day. But I just want to say to you all, I know it's been a while and I do apologize for my absence. And yes, we are still there. And yes, we are still moving forward. And yes, automatic citizenship is still moving forward. And there is good news coming, but I can't share it with you just yet. So just bear with me. It's a cliffhanger for you. And I know that you're probably, you know, wondering why. But listen, the one thing I got to say is that the only way to rid ourselves of colonization is to free our minds. I'm going to add Nana to the stream. Nana, you with me? Can you hear me, Nana?
Yeah, hello.
Greetings. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to Bla Xit. How are you? Thank you for watching.
I'm good. How about you and the family? How is everybody on the page?
Yeah, we're listening, Nana. Thank you.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, the line was breaking. So I have been listening to your conversation, and can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So one thing I would say is colonialization will not really end in Africa, right? I, I think it will not really, even if it will change, it will take time. But as somebody who did policy, as somebody who did policy, I think gradually it takes individual preferences or choices, like how we have different types of leaders, like the way you are, you are setting a pace. So it depends on individual preferences. Because, for example, like me, I'm in Chicago, right? But I never had this kind of opinion how the certain things in life is. Like, though I did government, I was in government in Ghana. That was the course I studied over there. But we never know the value of things we have. Even if we know, we are not ready to listen and be ready for change. So one thing I've come to realize is it is very difficult, especially to change African leaders and mindsets. I'll be honest. but gradually based on individual preferences, individual preferences and the willingness of people to move away from certain behavior, like macro behavior.
Yeah.
Because we keep on postponing, there are a lot of things that have happened. I keep on saying that we don't really know what happens in outside or the Western world unless we have traveled. Most Africans come to this shock up to date, but we keep postponing until the ones that are desired and have the ability to cause or fight for change.
Yeah.
But it is going to be very difficult. Honestly, I always say I will be coming to Ghana. Even if when I was in Ghana, I would have been in politics because that was what my passion is. Not
Yeah.
because of the money, but that was my inborn talent. Like I read for governance in Ghana,
Yeah.
but you'll be talking about it. I want to do this. I want to do this, but it takes a certain inspiration. You know,
Yes.
it takes certain inspiration. Sometimes we want to fight for it, but it takes the individual preference or like. For example, you can be married and be here, and your partner, you know how our traditional system in Africa is. For
Yeah.
example, your partner can tell you, "Nah, I'm not ready to go to Africa because it's corrupt." So who should go there and fight for you?
Well,
And
listen,
you,
they say I'm not going to Africa because it's corrupt. But
yeah,
then
you,
they'll
you
go to the West, which is the creation of corruption. I don't understand it. I
yeah, like
don't
there are lots
the
of
West
problems in Africa,
of Africa, which is
but
still robbing the Congo, which is still
yes,
robbing, and when you think about, if you don't think what King Leopold did was corruption, yeah, chopping off arms and legs and stealing rubber. If that's not corruption, what is? I mean, come on. If slavery isn't corruption, what is? I mean, we have to get this out of our minds what the concept of corruption is. Corruption didn't start with us, and corruption will not end with us.
yeah. So my whole point, not to make the distance long, is it depends on individual preferences because there are going to be a lot of barriers or factors that can really even intimidate us from achieving this goal. For one thing I have realized about Africa is the leaders know that no matter what, not all of us will rise in this modern world. It only takes those who are ready for it, because Africans, some can say yes to you in the face, but in the mind, it is never yes. They are not ready for change. It's very hard. Yeah, it's
Change
very
is always
hard.
gradual. Change is always gradual. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
where you are. Yeah. Change is very, very gradual.
yeah,
And you look at the recent epidemic that we've had, or pandemic, whatever you want to call it, right? That we've had. Look how people quickly change behavior. Yeah. We all started
yeah,
wearing masks. Yeah. No, I'm just giving you an example. Yeah. About learned behavior, implemented behavior, and the impact of the media. Yeah.
mhm,
And governance on and control of the law. Yeah,
yeah,
they all had us wearing contraptions on our faces. Yeah, they all had
mhm,
us living in fear, right? They all had
mhm,
us, convinced, yeah, that the world was going to come to an end.
yeah,
So our behavior changed overnight. When flights weren't going out, I got more emails in my inbox when they weren't going flights and people couldn't come to Africa with people panicking about how they're going to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had more views on Black Xit at that time than at any other time. And the reason why is because people realized that they could be stuck in a place where they did not want to spend the rest of their life, where they were not happy.
Yeah. Because honestly, just tell any African, like your friend that you left behind. Oh, I'm coming back home. The first question they will ask you is, why are you coming? Are you okay? I mean, you know, so it's very hard unless maybe you are determined and you know what you have gone through. There are some of us, we have gone through things that we can never explain to even our families back home. Sometimes you can try to explain things to them, but the mind is very hard. So I don't think the colonialism.
And perception, propaganda and perception is key. Yeah. If I came and I gave the perception of Africa, and I all I did was choose to go and find a specific terrible locations, yeah, or I decided to point my camera at the floor and show puddles when it was raining. But when I'm in England, I'm not showing puddles when it's raining. When England is flooded and you can't even drive a bus down Willesden High Road, or you can't drive a bus through London because it's flooded, no one's really showing that and promoting it hard. But each time in Africa, every time you say, oh, look, there's a child that looks like they're starving, let's put it on camera, then that is the perception that you're going to get. And so the propaganda and perception and media perception, as we've described in other programs, have been one of the drivers to colonization and the continuum of the implementation of colonization. And this is where the problem is. Because
Sometimes,
you fly into an airport when you go to Africa, you still fly into an airport when you land in England. You still fly into an airport when you land in Chicago. Ain't it just an airport?
yeah,
But yet, in our mind, we're going into Africa, you think you're flying into a hut. Like, what the hell?
yeah,
This is the perception, and this is what I'm trying to say. You come and you see people driving Porsches here the same way as they do in England, the same way they're driving, the BMWs or the Range Rovers or whatever, or the even African G-Star, right? They're still, the Ghanaian G-Star car or the Nigerian branded cars. We still have that.
anybody
Hello?
who have been in Africa will ask you, why are you here? When they see the things we have, they will ask you,
Because
why are
we
you
don't
here?
value what we have. We don't
But
value
when
freedom of
you tell
mind.
an African that you are coming home, they will tell you, why are you coming? So the why is too many things. And I see it to be individual preference. The fight is an individual preference. It will be from country to country in Africa to fight for colonialism. It is not going to be the whole Africa. It depends on which country wants freedom. Did you understand? It won't be the whole Africa, because when you look at every country and what they want and their fight for the need, because
Um,
these leaders know what
of
our
Africa.
problems are. The
I don't
leaders
think
really
it'll
know.
be the whole of Africa, but I do think that a change is going to come gradually.
Yeah. So thank you, sister.
No, thank
That's
you
the
so much.
information
And like
I want.
I said, I'm going to ask you a question before you leave. I'm going to bring in
Okay,
Niger, but I want to ask you a quick question before you leave.
okay. Yeah.
You're now living in Chicago with all of the infrastructure, right? All of everything. Where was you most happy? Ghana or Chicago?
Can you repeat the question?
I said you're now living in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You have all of the infrastructure, right? You
Yeah.
have all of the racism, all of the crime, all of the opportunity, all of the dollars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, back home with your family and nature, and cows walking down the street. Where were you most happy?
For me, I'm mostly happy. Like, honestly, my preference is in Ghana. But I came here because of education. I'm very happy I came here to educate my mind,
I'm
right?
glad you did, because you can
But
educate us
every
all now.
time I go back to Ghana, I will tell you that there are so many times I visited many pages talking about anybody who wants to go to Ghana, I will be of help. That is why I went to school. We speak British English. I when I came here too, I have my master's degree, so I'm very proud of myself. You know. So
Congratulations.
thank you. So I still have plan. We have different steps of planning. You plan execution. Now, when I came here, I'm very happy I came to gain knowledge. But I'm at the point of where I'm done with my master's. Now, nothing is going to limit me. Yeah, there
Listen,
were things that were affecting my coming back to Ghana, right? Like, oh, family members and things. But then I saw some people like you, African superstar, you see, that have resisted against all odds and moved back. So I see it as individual preference. In Ghana, I'm somebody who likes nature.
yeah.
You see, yeah, I always go there every year, if not because of the COVID in school for therapeutic reasons. Like whenever I go, I am calm.
Yeah.
I am always refreshed and calm back. But now if I'm going, I don't regret because when I came here, I came to gain a wisdom that I can use it to educate my people.
Yeah.
I came to gain something. But infrastructure in Ghana is very good. Anybody who knows Ghana knows that it's a developed country. We have problems, but it's good. We can be there to cause change.
Niger, you've been waiting. To
Thank you so
Niger.
much.
Hi,
Niger, join us.
yeah, thank you for having me here.
You're
I think
welcome, welcome.
the title is about whether we can rid ourselves of colonialism. I
Yes.
think there is no reason why not, and the fact that it still exists is to our very shame. Because I have not seen any group in this world that amount to over 1 billion people that are still under this type of control. And I put it squarely at the foot of our black men that have managed not to accomplish what 5-foot Asian men have managed to accomplish. And so some of these things, the more you look at it, the more you feel like something is seriously wrong. And we have not done our due diligence. I feel like maybe our leaders were thinking they can kind of have secure nations on the cheap, and they've left the whole place to fester. I don't know how it happened, but this is almost unique to black nations and communities all over the world. And you have to ask yourself why it's happening like that. Is it our people that are causing it, or is it the external forces? I refuse to blame only the external forces because we have the numbers, we have the capacity, we have the brains, and yet our nations are left underdefended, under administered, and left in a sub state of sub economic state, where a country like Nigeria of 200 million, the national budget is $26 billion or so, while in California their healthcare budget is well over $200 billion. Their healthcare in California, not the entire United States. And California is not up to 200 million people. So something is seriously wrong with the way we have administered our countries. And I think it's about our mindset. And we have to be smart about how nations are actually founded. And if there was no evidence, no clear signs of how these things are done, one can say, okay, yeah, we don't know. We are trying to figure it out. We know how it is done, and we have not even done those. You know how, if you look at from Senegal, Gambia, and to West, the entire West Africa, the number, can you believe that the entire West Africa is going to about 400 million or so? And the
Yes.
number of soldiers in that territory,
Mm.
the number of soldiers in West Africa is less than the number of soldiers in one country in North Africa, like Algeria. One country in West Africa, and that's like Algeria, has got 43 million people, has got, for their military, the size is about 700,000. While the entire West Africa of 400 and something million, 10 times the population of Algeria, hasn't even got up to that. You see why our nations are unstable and insecure. And it's not because you need fancy equipment. We are not even using our young people. Our graduates are on the street selling mobile phone top-ups, driving cabs, or maybe if they are lucky, they become real estate agents. These waste of our resources, which is our precious people, is our people. We are the ones doing it. I don't know why we are doing it. There's something seriously wrong somewhere. I've never seen a population so wasted. 1 billion people. It's sometimes when I see it, I wonder how we got to this point. How is it just by one mistake after the other? Maybe that's how it happened. But now we know. I didn't know of these things before, but I've seen that our nations, we don't have good security. We don't have we don't have transparency in our systems. There is no reason why politicians can be able to take money and put inside the account and nobody knows where the money went to. How is that even happening? You should be able to track this money by now, that whenever money goes into a government account, everybody gets an alert, like it's as if it's their account. After all, it is theirs anyway. They get an alert and know where the money is going to. And then wherever he pays money to, another alert. Oh, you just took out money to send to so and so. We all need to be knowing these things. There is no reason why Africans can't think outside the box. We can't be thinking like Western people. We have to start thinking like solving our own problems. We don't trust our leaders, so make it so that we know where all the money is going. We don't feel our countries are insecure. Secure your countries. Make them have more police officers, more military officers, more legal practitioners to be able to enforce laws. Because without any stability in any nation, even decision making by leaders will fail. You can't run a country when you're afraid that no, there could be a coup tomorrow. Let me just do what I can do before the next guy comes in. There is no stability. You can see why our nations keep rushing from one issue to the other, because even our leaders can't even make clean decisions for the long term. But I think we can break out of it, because if I look at it on paper, it seems like a simple problem. It's just that we are not asking for the right things. Ask for things that once you secure one, is going to reverberate and magnify over the flow of what they call it, X sectors in the economy. Like if you have security, you're not likely to have enough, a lot of crimes. You're not likely to have yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so where are you from? Where do you originate from?
Nigeria.
Beautiful. Okay. African superstar, you there? African superstar, are you there? Can you unmute?
Okay, yeah.
Hey, sister, it's been too long. I've been
Hi,
too
sweetie. How are you? It's been a while.
long.
Your notice popped up today. It doesn't always pop up, so sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh no, don't worry. But listen, I've been. Let me put it this way. I think I've been under the cosh a little bit by the old team there. You know what I mean? Suppressing the usual views. Suppressing.
Yeah. I know what that's like.
Suppressing. You know what I mean? Warning after warning. You know how it is. So
I know how it is.
Yeah,
I think so. Definitely.
Yeah. This is how they doing us right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't want this message to get out, but fortunately, there's so many of us, that are having these kind of platforms. They can't silence all, and that's the point when we come together. In regards to the topic, definitely it's possible, but what's going to be required is implementation of the change. So many of us are sitting back and watching these things unfold. Just like our Nigerian brother just said. We have the numbers, um, and but I find there's a disconnect between the problems that we see and the implementation of the solution. Back in the 1960s, Malcolm X was encouraging us to educate our own kids. We still have not taken that initiative. Those of us that realize that we've been miseducated are now allowing our children to go right back into the colonial education system without challenging it, without changing it, without homeschooling our kids, without, so the cycle repeats. A human, in essence, is somewhat like a robot. What is most critical to adults is their foundational years, and that is why parents that are very smart will expose their children to so many things. They will teach them languages, they will travel with them, they will make sure they get a certain quality of education in those foundational years, because that sets the path for how you will function as an adult. And anyone who has experienced tragedy or trauma or, an unstable lifestyle when they were children know as an adult, it's very difficult for them to come out of those things. It takes therapy or time or a lot of healing, a lot of, effort to redirect their lives. So we are all seeing that. I saw in the comments box, one of the brothers mentioned religion, it also compels our people to be non-active in the outcome of their life. We have millions of people relying on the government and God to pour roads, to build schools, to, create jobs. When if we took the initiative ourselves, we could provide those services for our own people. Why are diasporans outside in the international community watching what's happening to their homelands and not contributing? A lot of the people that are enterprising on the continent are not even African migrants. We have had an influence on a lot of African migrants, but a lot of us are those that are born and raised out in the West. So these are the kind of things that are going to be essential if we really want to see change. If we don't do anything, it will continue. It will continue to go on as it has been going on for the past several decades. The thing that's most critical is we have to put a focus on the youth. We have to empower the youth to be problem solvers. We have to instill leadership qualities in them. We should be teaching them trades. Obviously, the majority of the continent are developing nations, so why aren't they learning agriculture? Why aren't they learning, construction and all these things that the foreigners are taking advantage? Why aren't they learning mining? And why aren't they learning how to use solar electricity, all these things that would be a benefit. In Ghana, we have, I don't know about the other countries, but in Ghana, we have something called national service. So after the students graduate from college, they have 1 year that they have to, basically do like an internship. And we could be using this national service to build the country, if we were adequately educating our children with the necessary skills. In Ghana, we're only using 30% of our agricultural lands. We're importing the majority of food products from other African nations, and even some from Europe, and even some from China. It's completely unacceptable. Why are we not focusing on manufacturing? Why are we not focusing on producing our own goods? You see, these are the kind of things. But, I say all this to say that if we don't do some update to the current functioning, this cycle will continue. So in essence, your question, yeah, we can rid the continent of colonialism. Will we rid the continent of colonialism? What are we doing proactively to do this? We could have a massive impact. I'd say give it 20 years. If we started, like, for instance, schools right now, if those of us coming back, some educators are coming back, we set up Pan-African schools. Okay, you know, most children graduate from high school 17, 18. Bam, you have a generation right there. 20 years, you would have graduates coming out with that kind of mentality. You know, people like the young man that you introduced on your channel. What's his name? Osman. You know,
Toure.
yes, Usman. Yes, this kind of brother who, you know, realizes, okay, I can't, you know, really benefit my country if I'm not here, if I'm not contributing. Why would I take foreign education when that has not been a benefit to us? But obviously, someone has been influencing that young man, because the majority of his peers would take a quick ticket to America, Canada, or UK, or elsewhere. You see, but he's been instilled with that, the same way I was instilled with that, probably the same way you were instilled with that, Juliet. That
And he's still
Pan-African, do for self.
Now, you know, and we need to still support Usman Toure. I want us all to, you know, that's one of the things that I've been thinking about, is how to approach it, to say, like, can we put together like a fund for him, to protect him, to help inspire him? Can we do this? You know, and how do we do this?
We have to, because if we don't do it, you know, and you guys, a lot of people out there, I mean, no disrespect, I know people are very sensitive about religion, but even your holy books will tell you the faith without works is dead, and we're not working. Okay, we might have a lot of faith, we might have a lot of praise, we might have a lot of energy to the things of God, but we are not working. And all those prayers are also not working. So we need to take the initiative and provide the solutions for our own people. We know that non-Black people are not going to step up and do anything for us. They haven't yet. And the probability of them doing in the future is slim to none. I just had a live stream on my channel, which is things are going to remain the same in the West. That's the facts. So if we want to change course, you know, those of us on the panel that have already migrated to the continent, we didn't get here by wishful thinking and prayers. We got here by strategy. We got here by implementing. We got here by being, you know, men and women of our word and finding creative ways to do it. If we still were in the West and hoping to be here on the continent, like a lot of people express in the comments, oh, I miss home. Oh, I miss Ghana. I miss Senegal. I can't wait to come to Gambia. Okay, well, you have to implement it. You have to take the initiative. And that is the way that we conquer our problems, is by taking an initiative, looking at these things, implementing something, and then, you know, the rest will come with that kind of mentality and that type of approach.
Marie.
Yes.
Come on in, Marie. Marie, unmute yourself.
Oh, hey.
Hi, thanks for joining. Welcome to the and contribute. We've had Niger, who's given great contribution. We've got the African superstar who's on. Please subscribe to her channel, African Superstar Black. And now we have Marie. Marie, what say you? Can Africa rid itself of colonization? And welcome to Bla Xit. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, all. Bla Xit, you're welcome. Can we? Okay. What can I say about this? I'm from Ivory Coast. What I've lived before I came to Europe might be different from what other people have lived. So what I'm about to say, I can't really say is all of us our experience. However, I think, yes, we can. How do we do that? I just have a question. I don't have a company. I just follow you. Fingy, I follow you and your channel. So I just thought today, let me come on. But with this one, I have a question. Can somebody please call Kagame and ask him, Papa, how did you do what you did? Because this man, nobody can mess with him. But nobody is talking about him. Nobody's asking him, how? Can you please teach somebody? Because apparently right now, this man is looking for a replacement and he can't find it. That means he knows the effort that he made after these people destroyed his country, everything will go back to, desolation after he's gone.
Yes.
How can we help us? Yes, we are free. Because if we weren't free, some of us will not be traveling enough to make a decision to say, okay, do you know what? I've suffered too much in this part of Africa. Let me go in this part of the world. We're free enough. Like the lady said before, it's just that we're not working towards it.
Yeah, like
We're
I said,
not.
I'm suffered enough in England. I'm going to Africa.
Yeah.
I left, but I mean, it's a veritable open prison there. That is like the sufferation that you're suffering. It's an open prison, and
I
getting
mean,
out is sometimes a challenge.
I'm in
To have a
England
different.
right now. I'm in England right now, so I know what you're talking about. I
But
know what you're talking about. Trust me.
I
I'm
think
aware very
everybody in
much.
this panel is either in England or living there in a point. I think Binaja did
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
point. Oh, yeah, and my point is that we are free enough for most of us to leave Africa, come to Europe, see the difference, and some of us to go back.
I
I don't
think
know
some
if that makes
people
sense.
I think people have, we physically may be free, but mentally we're not. And I've even seen that sometimes when migrants get in the West, they also start believing the Western propaganda. They get nervous to go home. They're scared to go home. They start thinking, oh, it's dangerous there, and these kind of things.
Um,
And
I, sorry, can I? I have
yeah,
a
yeah, go
friend
ahead.
like that. I have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
friend like that,
Yeah, it's like
and
they're like petrified to go home now, and you're thinking like, wow, that's how
not.
powerful the
He's not even
propaganda is.
petrified. He's not even petrified to go home. The thing is, he's in his living room all the time and he's criticizing what he's never seen. So I urge him, I said, listen, instead of sitting down and criticizing what you've never seen or touched, can you please travel? Because at least you're one of the black people that are British. You have the red book. He said yes. I said, then get out of England. Then you can see, at least get out of London first. Start to get out of London first,
Yeah.
and then you can see things. Once you see things, then you will stop blaming what you see on the BBC or ITV or all of this. You need to stop watching the news. He's in the propaganda.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
you know, like you said, we're not mentally awakened like that yet. And
Right.
that one I think is because of religion. Religion is the biggest, oh Lord have mercy, our biggest, I would say, sin, if sin exists. Religious is the one that is messing our mental up. Because last time, about 2 weeks ago, I was searching on YouTube, and I watched this 30-second clip where a woman is showing 8 o'clock in the morning in Ghana. 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, people are praying instead of going to church. I was shocked. 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, people are going to pray instead of going to look for work. Like the Nigerian man said, at least some of them are selling water, or some of them are doing something. What about the majority that are willing to just wait in faith and not work? What do we do with these ones? Can we take
But see, if we take a page from the book, I mean, if we look at how we've gotten to that point with religion, religion has been enforced through school and also at home. So you're talking about like a 360. If you're like most Africans, your parents are constantly, promoting you to go to church, telling you about the Bible. In some cases, you may be going to also a religious school, so you're immersed in it. And we need to take that same approach with the proactive things that we want our children to learn: Pan-Africanism, geography,
we
leadership
say
skills.
that we say
Yeah.
that sorry, we say that, but however, there are parents right now today, and this is something I personally experience. We said that we want our children to learn this, and that. Again, I'm going to go back to religion. There are parents right now that are forcing their children right now to go to Sunday school, Saturday school, Friday evening school, Wednesday
Correct.
in the middle of the school of the week school. I've lived that, and I was always rebellious about it. Do you know what they call me? Satan's child. I said no problem. I will take it as long as I don't go. What is it? I've lived it.
Niger,
You know, the thing is,
I
I
think
think
there is
too.
a lot to unpack.
Niger, what do you think?
Yeah,
What's your take on this, to Niger?
I
We're
think there's a lot
free.
to
We just
unpack.
need to leave religion alone. Can we try? Even Muslim, anything that is religious, can we leave it? It's not that I'm saying don't pray in the morning or don't pray at night. No. I'm saying don't give all your energy to it, because we've been giving our energy to it for 2,000 years. Literally, it's not 500 years. Forget this one. This one is just around the corner. We've been giving our energy to these two basic religions for 500 years, for 2,000 years. Go think
I
about it.
see. I think that maybe this goes beyond religion. I think comes down to something that is tied to group, the way groups react to things. Because I've heard a Chinese official. They talked about how a Chinese official. I've not heard. I saw it on the documentary that the Chinese official was thanking the Japanese people that invaded their country for waking them up, because people as a group, even if they know something to be true consciously, it doesn't mean they will react to it as a group. They might be angry individually, but they need a kind of catalytic event to make them react to it. And if you look at all the black African countries that we have, none of them have been invaded like Iraq, Syria, and maybe for good reason. They are leaving them like that. It's not because Mugabe didn't annoy them or India didn't do crazy stuff that they didn't like. We did a lot of things, but they don't want to go there and poke the bear, and the bear wakes up and decides to start defending itself. And I get a feeling that is something that they are playing on. That's why they use a different tactics. Not to mention the fact that the presence of African Americans in the West, one of the most powerful countries in the world, is a dangerous game to start invading a continent of almost 1 billion same race people there. So that could be playing a factor why we seem to be lured to a false sense. It's almost as if we are in a trance. We know what is happening, but we don't act on it. And this may explain why even Hitler, as charismatic as he is, had to engage in a false flag attack on his own nation to wake them up. Because there is something there's another spark that is needed to get people going. And that is what I've wondered a lot, because all of us talk about this every day. You notice when that sad event of George Floyd happened in the US, how people got galvanized. That is just one man. If something happens to one of our nations, you see the transformation on the continent. Suddenly everybody buckles up. But my worry is that when you buckle up at that time, it may be too late. Because when I look at the Ethiopian situation, when they started that civil war recently, the president started calling the citizens, come and join the military, come and join it. It's like, what? Now? Where were you before then? You're putting a militia together, you're calling that a military. Maybe if you had got a better military in the first place, your nation would be more stable and you wouldn't have to be dealing with that problem. Our states are very weak. Just look at the structure of our states by the standard of all international, this in non-African, not even non-African, non-black nations. Black nations uniquely spend less on their military, have less manpower, and they even have less technology.
Because, can I say something there?
Yeah.
First of all, it's not because we have less technology. That is the total opposite.
No, I'm just saying that's a fact that we have less technology than Algeria, than Egypt, but yeah, they have even more people in their military.
No. We have more. We create the technology that they use in the military. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. I'm gonna give you a small example before I move on. Just recently, there's a guy in the east of in a central of Africa. I've forgotten the country. Years ago, he created a wireless TV. I know everybody's seen that. He created a wireless
Yes,
TV.
yes.
Couple of weeks later, I was on TikTok and an American girl, she said everybody needs to be aware of this, that the guy that created the wireless TV traveled to America to see the CDS or CDC or whoever, whatever company that was, and these people tried to poison this guy. When his African country heard of it, they brought him right back, and now he's hidden. Whatever technology whoever is using right now to go against us, we create this technology. They kill us, they take it. Can we say Corona here? Anyway, I said it already. What happened to Corona? We want to be free in Africa, no problem. We want to build our own thing, no problem. Corona just happened not long ago. We were in prison for 2 years. Actually, we're still in prison for Corona, but we were in prison for 2 years. And all of a sudden, we're going to forget that and then go and support a war that we never actually thingy. But when we said we want to go back to our country to build our own, you would turn around and say, no, you cannot go back to your country and build your own because actually we still need you. But if you stay with here, we still go and treat you fuck up. Black people, what's up? Because that's what we live in.
The only country in sub-Sahara that has got the standard level of security posture is Eritrea. Guess
and
what?
Rwanda.
No, Rwanda doesn't. I'm sorry to say. I think people are overstating his achievements. You see, let me tell you something. If you have your house and your door is open and your window is open and you go to work every day and you know the first day you go to work, you come back, they don't rob you, you are fine. You take on the day they come and rob you, that's when you know you didn't have those things. Just because Rwanda is walking around, Rwanda has got 33,000 soldiers for 12 million people of population. Do you know how many percent of their own people that they are using to secure their country? Which is the most important aspect of anything in life. You don't go out from your house with your doors open and windows open. And we don't do it for our own communities or our countries. There is something wrong with that mentality. Everybody else in this world understands this. Only black people don't understand that aspect. For some reason, I don't know why. So that's why I don't rate Rwanda very highly. But if you look at the recent vote in the UN, the only country in Africa that was able to oppose that vote is Eritrea. Because they don't need anybody. They are well defended.
That's true. Yeah.
To them, it's like, screw all of you. But no African country can do that because if they do that, they know they are very vulnerable. Their nations can be destabilized with just a unit of special forces. How can you have a people that live like that? Do you know that Nigeria, Ghana, they had enriched nuclear materials in their country in the last 5 years, within the last 5 years? They gave it all up because they felt they were not worthy of being able to control such things.
Imagine, are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, you said Nigeria and Ghana?
Yes. Ghana gave its own up in 2017. Most people don't know some of all these facts. Ghana gave the nuclear material and even the centrifuge that they were using because they were using it to carry out research. They gave it back and they gave them 20 million for it. They sent it back to China.
20 million.
$20 million. Nigeria, I think they didn't even bother giving Nigeria anything. Nigerian people were like, "There's Boko Haram here. We don't want. The place is not secure. Then put it in a secure place or build a barracks around it. Why give it back?" It tells you our mentality.
You see, when I read history sometime, I feel like there's a solution for everything that's happening. You know, I feel like there's a solution for everything. Because history tends to repeat itself.
Yeah.
If we want to free Africa, yes, our leaders are sleeping. Come again?
Yeah. No, I was just saying African superstar, she dropped off to come back in if she can.
Okay. If we want to free Africa as a whole, like we always, advocating for, I feel like we really need to study history, like the near history, just around the corner here, like the Toussaint, before he went out and took over his country. Those are the kind of thing I don't understand. For me, those are the solutions. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I said that is that our blood is already being shed by the enemy. So if the enemy is going to use our own, we might as well shed that blood so we can be free. Is
Exactly, a
that too
purposeful
radical?
life. You have to have a purposeful life. There is no point digging a
Yeah,
hole and covering it and calling it life.
exactly.
And we need to have a purpose to life, because suffering will come, joys will come, but it depends on what purpose you put to your life. Because I think we have lived for long enough just keeping the roof up. Sooner or later, you need to build. And we seriously need to change our approach to the way we are, because we are not going to get a lot of windows to do these things. And I think there is a window opening up right now because of the flux in the way, the whole world power is realigning itself. And if I'm to learn anything from even recent history, just very recent in the last 40 years, look at Ukraine that is being invaded today. Ukraine was once a nuclear power. They gave it up because Russia and America promised them that they will never be invaded. What is happening today? Look at
Yeah.
Well,
look at Iraq, that had biological weapon, advanced weapons. They decide that, you know what, we're going to give it up. Look at what happened to them.
don't
Look at
forget Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, the
This
same
is my
thing.
point.
Guess what?
This is my point.
Iran didn't give it up. North Korea didn't give it up. They are all still standing today. You can't
That's
weaken.
exactly my
You
point.
can't outsource your survival to any other person.
Ah,
That is
this is crazy.
basically what
But
Africa is doing. We are
Niger,
outsourcing our security
to
in
Niger,
our next generation to other people.
to Niger.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in because I want to agree, because this is what I've been saying. Unless you are self-resourcing, unless you are self-sufficient, unless you are independent, unless you are self-reliant, right? And unless you control your own resources, you cannot rid yourself of colonization. And unless you can defend yourself, you cannot rid yourself of colonization. If you cannot govern yourself, you cannot rid yourself of colonization. If you cannot feed your populace, your population, your people, you cannot rid yourself of colonization. And
that
this
is
is
absolutely
What if?
exactly, you hit the nail on the head. And that is, I'm sorry, but I had to jump in there because I know I've been quiet. But I had to jump in there to applaud you for what you're saying, because the basic building blocks of life, we have to be self-sustaining.
Yeah.
And it has to be sustainable, and it has to be projected into the future. Why is it other nations look 500 years ahead, but we can't even look 50 years?
Exactly.
Mm?
We
Yeah.
go around.
Why is that?
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I think for me
I
anyway.
how far?
Oh, okay, she's back. Okay. Um I okay, for me anyway, I think I've had a lot of conversations about these things, and it has dawned on me that while our countries are still asleep, the areas we can be smart about on the continent is demanding some level of transparency with the way our systems are being run, so that it will improve trust between the people and their leaders. Because right now on the continent, that is a big problem. Because if you don't have trust between the people and the leadership, then the leadership, one, they will not make decisions that are often the best for the people. And secondly, their loyalty will be to anybody that offers them security and wealth, really, and which is the rest of the world. They are not going to govern for you. So we need to bridge that gap, and we need to demand security, even if especially for nations that have never had any massive security issues. It's hard for them to imagine a situation where they need it. But
Listen
think
to
about it.
this.
You need it all the time. You don't know when trouble will come. That is why you secure your houses and put gates all the time. It's not because criminals are knocking at your gate every day. You are waiting for the day when they show up. We have to do our due diligence. We can't just kind of secure ourselves on the ship by just not doing it at all. That is what our people are doing. We don't even have a good security posture or like a good military because we think that, you know what, we don't need it. We've never really had a war for a long time, so let's not do it yet. You are
I
never going to
I
go anywhere.
I have something to say about that really true thing.
Okay,
Again,
there's a comment on the screen for you, Niger, as well. So go ahead, sis.
um, like I said, I'm from Ivory Coast. We speak French, so our politics is really upside down to the English side of Africa. And what's it called about military? 1999. The country was peaceful until 1999. So I'm gonna start 1999. I must be about maybe 7, maybe 10 or something like that. And these people started disturbing Ivory Coast. Reason why? Because the president, the person that was supposed to be president, he started, was he was some kind of minister, he started regrouping the youth, okay, to make them what's it called, to have a bigger army. Because the French, like Ivory Coast is like little France. French got their army base in Ivory Coast. French people, they've got their army base in Ivory Coast. They don't go nowhere else. They've got their army base in Ivory Coast, in Mali, in Burkina, you name it. They're there. So this president now, he was recruiting the youth. Okay, he said the youth didn't have any job, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna recruit them whilst I'm a minister and make them into a small army, to start with. So he was doing that behind the scene. So when he became president, before he became president, he announced it, that this is what he wants to do and change few things in the country, like stop paying for like light, the lamp light outside. Stop paying for that because they've already installed this since 1960, and we already finished paying for it since 1962, but we were still paying for it until 2000, until 1999 and 2000. So for that, France, with the backup of England and America, they went in and stopped this man. They went in and stopped this man and put him in prison for 10 years. Whilst France is in Ivory Coast, even right now as I'm talking to you, the puppet, the pulled there, he's not a bad puppet, but he's not a good person. Because even though he's a puppet, he's doing some kind of something, just, to save face. Apart from that, they put somebody that wanted to start a small army, because the army that the French allowed the previous president to have are not up to 1,000, and they all have beer belly. They can't go anywhere. He came and fixed that, and they destroyed that for him. So how do we fight against those? Because that's what we have to fight against.
I think we have even more. If you look at Djibouti, that one, they are basically running a supermarket of military bases there. They have Chinese, they have American, it's like, come and pick your plots and create a military base on our continent. I think this type of attitude, this is kind of stuff that that's why I keep saying, why are our people thinking like this? Why do we always feel like other people's husbands should come and secure our country for us? What are our men doing? I don't, for me, that mentality, it's like our men should be a little bit embarrassed because the other men are not any older than them.
My brother.
We are, as a matter of fact, they are supposed to be our children, for crying out loud. It's really embarrassing. And why would they even want to help us? Look at how big we are. Look at our continent, how big it is. If they help us, it's like it's like a lion coming to you and saying, you know what, give me a little bit of meat. Because it's going to eat you someday. Why would you feed a lion? Why we are so big, but we don't have respect for ourselves?
One day, I asked my mom. I said,
I'm going to ask African superstar Black to come in. I want to ask her opinion on this as well. So, do you feel that because I'm sorry, but a lot of our brothers out there are letting the side down. I have to agree. Some of our sisters are too, but I want to bring in you, African superstar Black, because you've seen some of the things that I've experienced in the UK where, a lot of our brothers ain't supporting the sisters, let alone supporting Africa.
That one.
Yeah, I think definitely in the West it has to do with a lack of brotherhood, because people are groomed with a very individual mindset, and so many people of our community just see themselves, and they will even remark, well, You know, I'm doing what's best for me. I don't care about, you know, whatever. And when we look back to significant movements in the Black community of the past, there was a brotherhood there. You know, there was a brotherhood, there was a community, there was some collective effort. And I think that's a huge problem that we now are dealing with. And also the fact that our men are not, they don't have the collective approach to the future, because the men of yesteryear, they knew with all the risk involved, people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, they knew that, you know, they were getting out on a limb, but they were concerned about the welfare of their families, their communities, their countries. So they were willing to do that. Nowadays, I don't know that, you know, our men are willing to make that sacrifice. And at the end of the day, they're not willing to die. You know, they have been suppressed so much over the several decades and centuries that I think the fear is so deep in them that they know immediately that they step out there that the consequence can be death, and they don't want to pay that cost, you know. So therefore they just live a more mundane lifestyle, not to be, you know, threatening, not to be controversial. And they also encourage Pan-African women to calm down on their message as well. You know, they always want us to, oh, you know, just calm down, take your time, you know, this kind of thing. They're very, I mean, if you look at this space, I mean, again, it's dominated by women. You know, a lot of the women from the diaspora are the ones that are spearheading this. I'm looking for the brothers to step up and say, hey guys, look, let's head back to the continent. Let's set up. I also think that sometimes us focusing on the masses is not the correct move. We can create our own smaller
Yes.
community, like-minded people, and we can start our movement with that. And because the masses are very trendy, you know, the masses, it's like follow the leader. So when they start to see that, okay, this is happening, it's kind of like the Black Panther movement in the US started in California. You know, Huey P. Newton and his boys decided, hey, we're going to police these police. We're going to just show a presence whenever we see, you know, white police officers pulling over anyone Black. And guess what? It spread like wildfire all over the US because it became a trend, essentially. So I think we don't necessarily need to target, okay, we need millions of people to enact this movement. We can get with like-minded people in our environments on the continent. We can set up our own communities, even if it's something as small as like 10 families. You know, we can do something like that to get the ball rolling as to the future, you know. So I think with all these components that we know which are important, which actually, you know, Tu and I just talking about military, that's very important. But that's these again, all these things are not being instilled with our people. We can't expect an outcome of our people that we're not putting in, you know. And we see people mature into adults, and then we look at them, we're like, why don't you care? Why don't you care about the community? Why don't you care about Africa? Why don't you think about military? They were not instilled with these things. I mean, if you go to China and you see the rigorous education that they're giving their children, they require all students to learn martial arts, every last one of them. It's a mandatory course. I'm pretty sure you would be also hard pressed to find a school in China that doesn't teach children Mandarin, but that's very common. At least even here in Ghana, there are schools that don't teach any local languages. They don't teach Tree, they don't teach Ga, Hausa, and it's kind of like, okay, if nobody's instilling these languages in the kids, who's going to speak them in 20 years, you know? So we have our priorities wrong, and we're not instilling the necessary skills that we expect. Our generation, a lot of us are not going to be able to convert and change. Our focus has to be the next generation. That is how we'll change the face of the continent, is via our youth, you know.
Personally,
Yeah.
I don't have that much patience for next generation because so many people have been talking about
You
next
can't
generation.
say that.
And
Come on, pity us. Pity us. We're learning from you.
because when you look at we
The
have
next
everything,
generation's
we
now,
have very
no?
educated people on the ground, we have all the people. It's just we need to deny space for the ones that are propagating ignorance. We have to start because if you look at what is happening, I understand too, you know, I'm not stupid. I understand some of the reasons why we have this kind of latency to try to embrace some of these ideas, because basically Black African countries are treated right now the way the world was in the year 2000 years ago, where we don't encounter the world really the way it is. And because if you look at the continent, we've really never been invaded by a first-class world power before. Look at Afghanistan, what the Americans did there recently. They left billions of dollars worth of weapons. So those people, their mindset will be different now compared to us, because they are encountering first world conflicts with these nations. But Black African countries never do, and I think it's almost deliberate. They kept it away until they really need it, because they don't want to wake the people up to that level of preparedness. So we have to, while we are doing that, I just want our countries to be administered properly, so that when the time comes, we will be ready. Like just running a country so that it will be stable enough. I'm not saying offensive military. I'm saying keeping your country safe, because military is like a nerve ending for a country. If somebody wants to come and sabotage your country, your territory, you will know. We don't even have a clue who is coming to our countries. Any country that tells you that they know who is coming in and out, they are lying. Right now, the only people that know are their overlords in Europe that have satellite monitoring their countries for them. So how can people be doing stuff for you and you claim that you can't be in control of your country? This is
hang on 1 sec. Wait. I'm gonna stick up in 1 sec. I'm gonna come in. You talking military? Who's providing the arms? Name me one African country which manufactures its own arms. I said we're talking about military. Which African country manufactures
Kenya is manufacturing guns, and recently anyway, they started manufacturing guns and they started manufacturing microchips. I think South Africa makes,
South Africa is actually doing it, but South Africa is not allowed to sell it out of Africa, in Africa and out of Africa.
Exactly. You see that is the problem.
Who's controlling those resources? Are those not white companies manufacturing in Africa?
If you tell a black South African this, they will fight you.
Yep,
they will tell you, how dare you tell us like that? You are being jealous. You are this and that. They don't want to hear that, because they don't understand that we mean well for them, so that they should not fall asleep. You know that term your spouse used, that it said something about illusion of inclusion. That's what they're having too. They seem to think what the Europeans created in their country is part of their inheritance now. And they don't understand that when elites control things, they never give it up. There is no part in this world where you have an elite, they give up power willfully. It takes a massive revolution to wrest power from an elite. And South Africans have not even started indulging in that kind of conversations at all. So if you tell them that right now, they'll kill you. They don't understand that.
I know. I've had challenges. I've had challenges along the same lines, and I asked, can you explain to me how a Dutch person becomes African? And I don't understand. How do we? What do you mean we? And so. Like he said, the illusion of inclusion is something that is, widely affecting our community. And I say this because we accept everybody while nobody accepts us. And this is a problem. We open our arms wide to everybody. It's like we have an issue. But yet then we will turn around and we will reject our own brother and our own sister.
Oh, that one. Mm-hmm. That one.
Yeah. And what I find is that we as Africans, we are from some of the most humane group on the face of the earth. Even if we like to think that we hate each other more, come on, test the Europeans out for size. You see how they hate each other, or the Asians. They hate each other way more than we do. And somehow every trait we have that is negative is magnified, while theirs that is negative is sanitized.
No, they hate each other unless you come into the picture.
Oh yeah.
Right? They hate each other until
but then we never come into the picture. But then we never come into the picture, though. They always drag us into the picture. We never come into the picture. I mean, come on, look at it. There's the right example right now. They started their own fight, their own beef in their backyard. And then they're trying to drag us in, whilst at the same time being racist to us at the same time. Like, are we in that picture, or are they dragging us in that picture? Because we never come into the picture. We
In one of
never
our
invite
business.
ourselves into the picture. We never invite ourselves into the cookout. They always invite themselves into our cookout.
I think
I
their
mean, come on.
evolution. I think what happened to them is that they had. I think this is why I said it looks like they just bottled us up and tranquilized us and kept us on one side so that we
Yeah,
don't
with
engage with what
religion,
is going on in the world.
with
But
our
if
own
you look at
religion.
them, they learned from mistakes. When the First World War happened, they hated each other. They killed each other in the millions. They didn't learn a proper lesson from it. Then they had a second one. Then they learned their lesson. You know what? They started having the EU, and they had NATO to back that up. So they learned their lesson. Even when they came to Africa, they tried to take over our continent for hundreds of years. Actually, they did it for more than 300 years before the 18th century when they had the Berlin Conference. They learned their lesson in the end. Then they ran circles around us. We don't
Okay,
seem to learn.
to Niger, to everybody, I'm going to ask this. I've just seen a comment by Watching the Hawks. Kenya do not, or I think they say have not or do not manufacture weapons or rifles. South Africa produces weapons, but only to export out of Africa. And the company are owned and controlled by Israel and the UK. The company was established way back after the World War II. So persons added in, I think she's Kwame, Africans never invented weapons of mass destruction. And another person, Roxanne said, Niger.
Kenya manufactures weapons. I don't know what he's going on about. It's a fact. It's not even in me. There's news of it online all over the place. So I'm looking at the page.
Okay, maybe I don't know if it's recent, but I mean, it'll be good for you to maybe share the link.
2021. Let me send the link. Yeah, let me send the link.
Listen, we've also got here that they said that also Ethiopia and Egypt produce some guns.
Yeah,
so are we producing? On what level are we producing? You know, and I think
but even
I think it's all.
Even if all these countries are
to your 10 million produce every night.
Yeah, you know, even if these countries are producing guns right now, are there black people in those companies producing guns? Because I don't think so. Because if it was really, really black people from those specific countries in those companies, don't you think it would be known by now? It would not be a hidden secret.
I think gun manufacture is not high tech. I think black people can be able to do that. The fact that we are not doing that is to also one of our shames.
No, you need to be able to work. No, you need to be able to work in the manufacturing for in order for you to have at least some sort of blueprint to go on and do other things for us to have even a small kind of factory that will be manufacturing guns. That's why I asked. All these companies in all these different African places that have gun factory there, are they employing the people there, or are they bringing in people to manufacture those guns?
It appears this is a wholly Ghanaian owned, this in Kenyan owned, this in company, not foreign. I know that Nigeria built a warship last year, so there are another Nigerian company that is making armored vehicles. That they're actually using those vehicles in peacekeeping missions today. So it's not like our people are beginning to start making moves. It's just that as a whole, we have not there's no sense of urgency to it, and it's an alarming state of affairs if we don't change our posture soon, because this is an opportunity with the way the world is going on right now. If you look at America, Russia, they're all taking their own sides. That's an opportunity for us to say, you know what, because now they want us on their side. They don't want to start. Who wants to start a fight when they are already involved in another fight? So I believe that this is a great opportunity and that may even explain why we are able to have so many of these discussions now. And I see a lot of people talking about these things. So let's just change mindset and start making it. Making a gun is not that sophisticated. When they built their nuclear weapon, 1945, when they built their first nuclear bomb, Nigeria has more, or African countries have more advanced technology now than they had in 1945. So why are we not able to do it? It's just us that we are not stepping up to the plate to do that. For some reason, we feel like other people need to do stuff for us. There are many
You know
aspects.
what?
It's weird.
You know what? Stop right there. You are
Yeah.
right. We have codependency syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it. We have Franklin, jump in. Yeah. Franklin, jump in, please. If you're there, jump in. We have codependency syndrome. Yeah. We have a fear of standing on our own 2 feet and doing things ourselves. Okay. And that has been partly due to the pre-exposure to conditioning and pre-exposure to colonization, pre-exposure to enslavement, pre-exposure to mind control programs, yeah, which have been running rapid and still rampant and are still in existence now. We cannot pretend that these mind programs are not there, because they are. Anyone can go and Google mind control programs and see how effective they have been, from MK Ultra to long before then. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, you know, not only that, you've got HARP. Yeah. You've got so many control programs all running at once, and don't think that they're not. You've got subliminal programming running behind media. You have everything all running.
Do you know talking about this HARP? Do you know talking about this HARP machine? Yeah. Talking about this HARP machine, guess what happened here in England yesterday? I was outside minding my own business. It started raining. It started dripping, first of all. It was dripping mud.
What?
I'm telling you, I did not have time to take a video. I was in a hurry. However, I got on the bus, and then my jacket, I was wearing a black jacket. So for me, I was maybe, you know, hallucinating. I checked my jacket. It's meant to be raindrop. It wasn't. It was tiny drops of mud, like brown water, dropping on my jacket. I got off the bus because there was a lot of white people on the bus. So I got off the bus. I saw a Jamaican man at the bus stop, and I asked him, I said, "Sir, can you see the brown stain on my jacket?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Is it raining?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Come, please stand on the rain because you have black on your jacket." He saw the same thing on his jacket. Guess what happened to me the later on that day? I had a migraine and a headache. Yesterday, the cloud was full, the sky was full of cloud, and today is all shiny. That's what happened yesterday in England. I asked 2 people just to make sure I'm not dreaming. And then after, when the dripping, the small brown dripping started dripping, when it stopped, then rain, actual water, came and washed it off.
Is anyone else out there in the UK that experienced or saw this? I'm just very curious. You know, if you saw this or you witnessed this phenomenon, do get in contact with us and let us know. Okay.
It happened.
I'm gonna round up the show because I am starving. I'm so hungry. I even skipped lunch today, rushing around, you know, and so. Oh look, someone said it's true, dirty rain. So Michelle said it, and she said, and also watching Walter said it. So you know they've confirmed what you're saying. Well, get out, you know, brothers and sisters. Yeah, they might be talking about infrastructure, but I ain't having no rain. I'm not having no muddy rain. Okay, so get out, please. Come on to Africa, come to Bla Xit, get some repatriation package. You know, we have land which is less than, you know, I think it's 700 and something pounds, equivalent to $1,000 or whatever. You know, get out. It's like 50,000 Dolasi for land. You understand? We only got like 50 in the annex. So get out. There's no reason for you to be there. Come and build your house. Come and live your life. Come and eat fresh food. Have fresh air and not muddy rain. Get out. Bla Xit out.
Come on. We're coming.
Nigeria. Yeah, to Niger. I'm going to Nigeria.
Now you're welcome. You're welcome.
How far? Yeah?
Nigeria, the door is wide open. Nigeria, man.
I am
don't
coming.
get me started with Nigeria.
I am coming. Yeah, and you're going to be surprised, but I am coming to Nigeria. I cannot wait. So my Niger family, please prepare the way for me. I am coming. Get in contact. Info at Black Xit Home. You know, welcome me. Open your arms. I am coming to Nigeria because Nigeria is a place that I've always wanted to go to. So I'm totally excited. I want to meet my Nigerian brothers and sisters there. And, you know, I would love to have a second home in Nigeria. So, you know, I'll be looking. And
I think you blend in Nigeria. You know, your personality seems like Nigerian personality. Really, to be fair, you don't. That's the truth of the situation. If you go to Nigeria, you probably would. People will notice that you are different, except your accent, I guess. But in terms of the way you talk and everything, you blend in just fine. In Nigeria, yeah, I guess you just have to experience it.
Some bro, I want some fufu. I want some beans. Listen, I want some bitter
The whole shebang. I'm from London.
Now,
I'm in London.
No, right now I'm Her Majesty's subject now, so I'm a humble subject of Her Majesty, just in case she's listening. You know, I mean no ill will. I didn't mean anything I said. I take it back, just in case. Okay.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna round up and say goodbye. Adrian's back. He will say goodbye. So listen, peace and love, Black Xit family. One love. Remember that we're all one nation. This is very important. Whether you are from Port Harcourt, whether you are from Accra, whether you are from Lagos, whether you are from Mali, whether you are from Guinea-Bissau, whether you are from Chad or Mauritania, we are all one people. Yeah, and we should all love one another and get on and have a great time. If you're from Gambia, you live in Banjul, you know, come on, okay? We are all one people. We need to love each other more, come together more, and we need to promote Africa more and talk about the benefits of Africa. Everyone wants to talk about the lack of infrastructure, but no one talks about the fulfillment of love. No one talks about the rich culture and language and the beautiful food. No one talks about the nature and the landscape. No one talks about the wonderful, peaceful life and tranquility that you have. No one talks about the fact that you can live off the grid peacefully in love, you know. And so let's do this. Let's go there. Let's do this. Let's Black Xit. Remember to get in contact about, you know, anything you want to know about repatriation. Just send us an email. We're happy to get in contact. I apologize for about the lives, but I will be doing more regular lives because it's important that we keep in touch and that we can help to guide you through the process and also give you opportunities for investment so that you can help to get home, because money is important. It doesn't matter where you're going or what you're doing. So Black Xit family, I'm going to say one love, you know, one destiny, unity. And thank you to all of our guests today. You've been phenomenal. It's been an amazing. I don't even want to end it. It's just because I'm hungry. So I'm going to some food.
Go eat. Go eat.
Thank you.
You need to feed yourself. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Jenna, Jeff, H.
Yeah, thanks for you all. And remember, I'm here and I'm going to be launching a construction company very soon. So I'll be able to take care of your building, whether it's commercial or private building. So as I say, as soon as I launch it, I will let you all know. Okay? So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the continued support, Black Xit family. And I will see you all soon. Okay? Bye.
One love. Black power. African power.